BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.
And what will be now for Carlisle United. The team named by their manager Keith Curle sees 3 changes. Wyke is in that starting lineup, Asamoah is in that starting lineup, Eri is in. The men dropping out Ibury, Dicker and Gilead. So it's Gillespie in goal. A back 3 of Rains, Atkinson and Ellis. Then we're told it's a 3-1-4-2, but essentially I'm sure you'll agree it will look like a 3-5-2 with Danny Granger on the left hand side, on the right hand side Tom Miller. I guess the man who will anchor more, perhaps the one behind the 4, is Luke Joyce, and the other man in there are Jason Kennedy and Bastian Eri. And then up front, Derek Asamoah and Charlie Wyke. I know you'll only know so much about both sets of players, Dean. Of course, your regular work is for Opta, watching Lincoln City, which must be great fun, where of course you saw plenty of Tom Miller. He's a guy though who's been a real star for Carlisle United, and we'll hope for another good night for him.
Yeah, I think I'm not quite sure. I got a phone call from somebody from Carlisle asking me about Tom, and I did say he was probably Lincoln's most consistent player over the last 2 seasons. Good going forward, good defender, got a long throw, good delivery. He's a fit lad, and I'm glad he's doing ever so well here.
And he most certainly is. In the Champions League, by the way, it's finished Sparta Borisov 1, Bayer Leverkusen 1. Zenit beat Valencia 2-0 there in the early kickoffs. No further scoring elsewhere in the Champions League. I'll bring you all the scores as they come through. Waterlogged pitch between Accrington and Hartlepool, that game off. 2 captains together in the middle for us here at Kenilworth Road. We're not too far from getting underway, just about heading the head-to-head. Well, they are by 4 actually. 10 wins to Carlisle's 6 between the 2 sides. Last term it was the league double for Luton against Carlisle United. The last time they won, March 2008, when one listener of ours, I have no doubt this evening, was involved. Chris Lumsden, Peter Murphy and Danny Livesey got the goals on that occasion. Couple of defenders chipping in, unless that was in one of those games where Murph was playing in the midfield for Carlisle United. The 2 teams in their huddles at the moment, these last seconds before kick-off, how crucial are they to what's going through players' heads? Yeah,
it's just getting your head right now, making sure you have a first good 10-15 minutes. Defenders win the first tackles, win your first header, strikers get your first shot on target. Those are the type of things that go through your head right now.
And we are just seconds away then on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. We'll be keeping you up to date on all the scores as they come through from League 2, from the various other competitions of interest like the National League, including that Woking game that the new Barry manager Paul Cox will be at. But the key focus here at Kenilworth Road is Carlisle United against Luton, and Luton right behind United in the table as we get underway. And United coming straight away through the middle. Bastian Eri trying to take the ball past his man, not quite pulling it off. Kennedy looking to track back in that midfield. Out to the left-hand side with McGeechan come Luton. Back on the ball from United's kick-off, which will be a minor disappointment. Rains under the first ball forwards from Luton and comfortably heads it up and away. Doesn't get too much distance on it, but Carlisle trying to get it further away. Good little ball forwards there, and they could be in down the inside left position against Carlisle, but that's really good dogged work from Atkinson for Carlisle United. I think you'll quite enjoy Atkinson. Do you know, he's a very committed lad, even if he's not a big strapping tall defender like Ellis and Rains. He's just been bypassed there actually though. Down the left hand side here comes McGeechan for Luton. Thoughts about the cross, then puts it into the midfield. Chance for Smith to try and play one in up towards the edge of the area. There's some neat passing here in the opening stages from Luton on the edge of the Carlisle penalty area, but thankfully they forced them away. Still inside the opening minute. Down the right hand side, Luton look to come now, looking to come at Carlisle United again. They're definitely going at the Cumbrians early in this game, coming at them with a high tempo at the start to this match. Carlisle United will hopefully be able to fend them off, and they get on the ball here on the left hand side. Granger fizzes it over the top, one for Asamoah to give chase to. I think Cuthbert will get there ahead of him, and one of the number of former Celtic players in that lineup here for the opposition. Luton managed to get it out of play on that far side, and it's for Carlisle thrown to the left of the penalty area, and that just shows how dangerous Derek Asamoah is.
Absolutely.
United are defending, one ball over the top, and now they've got a thrown on the edge of the Luton penalty area.
That's what pace does for you.
Really does then. Opening stages, Carlisle United on a good news night for them, of course. The news coming through today that the agreement on a deal up to 2018 for manager Keith Curle. Now Carlisle attacking Luton down the left-hand side. Asamoah trying to get in behind, fizzes it into the middle. Little flick right across the face of goal, and behind it goes. Off for Carlisle head in the end, and for a goal kick to Luton Town. We're just approaching the end of the second minute of play, and it's been pretty fraught stuff, but thankfully it's been at both ends.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a fast pace, a great opening pace from both teams. I don't think anybody's put the foot on the ball at the moment. A lot of slick passing from both teams.
TB Gantry, by the way, here at Kenilworth Road is set on the biggest pillar you will ever see. That has got to be about 1.5 meters thick, the pillar it's set on, and it is plumb in front of the goal from where we are sat here. I won't take a picture and put it on Twitter on this occasion because hashtag Girder Watch is something I do occasionally do, but I'll leave it on this occasion. But fingers crossed it won't obscure my view. I'll leave it there because I don't want to go on about it too much. I generally do mind. On the right hand side, Luton trying to come at Carlisle United. 3 on the clock. Identical away versus home records in terms of games won, drawn and lost. 3-3-3 at home for Luton, and the same away for Carlisle. So very difficult to pull at these two in terms of who's going to outstrip. Portsmouth, of course, came to Carlisle with such good away form at the weekend and nearly got the win. Ball into the area for Carlisle as they look to get up to that Luton end, kicking from left to right in front of myself, James Phillips, and United legend Dean Walling in commentary with you this evening as Chris Lumsden takes the night off on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Out to the left-hand side of defence for Luton, up into midfield, and Cameron McGeechan came in from Norwich in the summer. McGeechan just eased away from danger, the youngster, and back in towards goal it goes, and fizzed over the top by the veteran Mark Tyler. In that midfield area gets the touch but couldn't pick out Jason Kennedy, and it's swept out right hand side by the home side Luton, who are looking to exploit the wide areas with this 4-4-2. Ball up towards the edge of the penalty area, some good passing, good shot, good goal. 4th minute, it's an absolutely fantastic thrash, you have to say, and I think I'm right in saying against his former club. He had a loan spell with United in August 2014. Jack Marriott has just moved up to 8 goals for the season. Neat passing from the right winger into him. He turned well. He seemed to be able to step inside his man and absolutely thrashed it past Mark Gillespie on his 100th appearance for Carlisle United. And it's an early advantage to Luton here in only the 4th minute. It's Luton 1, Carlisle 0. Talk you through that, Dino.
It's an absolutely fantastic finish. Great build up down the right hand side. It's come inside. Marriott's come inside, smacks it into the left hand corner. Absolutely great finish. Great slick passing. From minute one. From minute one, they've moved the ball fantastically well.
Well, United with a bit of work to do here, but of course they've often responded to going behind, not least at the weekend against high-flying Portsmouth. Now against Luton, who will be looking to pass them up the table. United just a point ahead of them, just a place ahead of them coming into this game, and a bit of work to do now in this one. Point and a place between them coming into this one, but Jack Marriott came in, looked lively, never scored in his spell with Carlisle. 5 games he played in total, no goals, on loan from Ipswich, where he signed this summer to Luton, and showing Carlisle United what they're missing out on there, because that was some finish.
Yeah, great finish.
Took it very well, the 21-year-old. Now they're coming forwards again down the Carlisle United right, and Miller hooked back over his shoulder. And work to do here, but I mean, it wasn't the most. I didn't watch the way they started and think, Carlisle are going to be up against it here, but it was just one pass up from the right winger to Marriott on the edge of the area, and boy, did he make something of it. So how do Carlisle respond? Smith sends it over the top out the centre of the midfield, and Atkinson's hooked it back into his own area. Rains gets the clearing header. White trying to help out too, rather jumped into one of the Luton forwards. They're trying to keep it alive on the edge of the area. Atkinson with the header, then Joyce. Carlisle have only got it about 15 yards further clear than where it was. Atkinson looking to help out defensively here, and it's a throw in to Luton just to the left of the Carlisle penalty area. Got a bit about them, this Luton side. Had some good spells throughout the season, and some slightly less so, but finding results a little bit easier to come by now, and like a foul throw on this left-hand side actually from fullback Griffiths. Now Cuthbert steps away from Charlie White, trying to take it down the left-hand side. Kennedy comes over and makes the tackle. I think he took a bit of a rap on the shin there, didn't he, Dino? Yeah,
just a little bit. Yeah, he's a big old unit, isn't he?
Yeah, Scott Cuthbert, yeah. What was it you said about you do with Derek Asamoah? He certainly made sure Kennedy knew he'd been tackled there as he won the ball out for a Luton throw-in. Griffiths trying to get away from Kennedy down the left-hand side, and actually nutmegged Miller there as he went through. It's good footwork actually from Scott Griffiths. Came in from Peterborough a couple of years ago, 29. Often the modern fullback is sort of young and extremely quick and fit, and
yeah.
but, he seems to have a few of those things. I was watching Ben Davis at right back for Portsmouth, and 34 pressing 35. He was lightning fast. So I guess if you keep your body in check, you can keep going much longer. I mean, you look at Branislav Ivanovic, he's only I think 31, and he's so quickly diminished.
So fit.
Ball up towards the near post here from Luton into that penalty area, cleared away thankfully by Carlisle on this occasion. Back in it goes though from Danny Green up towards the edge, and coming out to gather that one will be Mark Gillespie. Well, if he was hoping to keep a clean sheet on his 100th appearance for the club, then quickly that's over now. What he'll hope is that he's not breached again, and that United can find a couple of ways into the back of the Luton goal.
I'm not quite sure if he even saw it go in, to be quite honest.
No, it was a heck of a finish. Charlie White felt he'd been manhandled there, as Carlisle were looking to get quickly up to that Luton end. Still sticking with a 3-1-4-2 Carlisle. I just wonder if they'll try and match up more just for a little while against Luton, given the problems that Luton had created early in those wide areas. We're into the 8th minute now, so had double the minutes we'd had at the point in which the home side took the lead. And Jack Marriott, you just know it, wouldn't you? Looked like he had something for Carlisle, but his loan spell cut pretty short under Graham Kavanagh in August of 2014. Never really got to see the best of him, and that's 8 goals for the season for him now here, having signed for Luton in the summer. Ball over the top, not a bad ball actually, and Marriott's in again. McGeechan's at the back post. If the cross can come in, and Ellis did really well blocking that, and I think actually he blocked it back onto the Luton man, and so Carlisle get the goal kick. That was really good defending. Yeah, he looks lively, Marriott. It's really lively, he's really quick. Really good thrashed finish, wasn't it? Really wrapped his foot. The sort of a computer game finish, picked it up on the edge of the area and just looked to drill it right across the face of the goalkeeper. If you'd been playing that on one of these games, I don't know, one of the Pro Evolution and FIFA, I remember playing them. I've not played one of those for about 8 years, but you'd have watched that one from about 37 different camera angles, wouldn't you, enjoying it? He'll be chuffed with that one when he sees the replays. Jack Marriott. So what about Carlisle United now, looking at their striking options? The goals of Charlie White and Derek Asamoah will be key. Jabo Ibare on the bench, 10 goals to his name that he scored in quick fire at the start of his Carlisle career, but injuries kept him out, and he's failed to add for a little while now because of that. But here they come again, and McGeechan was almost in, but for a good interception from Atkinson. Had he not got a thigh onto that, he improvised well. McGeechan would have been in behind him and would have been running into the penalty area with only Mark Gillespie to beat. Thankfully Atkinson got the touch, but still they come at Carlisle United with McCoy on that right hand side. Gives it to the winger, cross in towards goal. Rains has to win the header for Carlisle and does. Further over, Ellis heads it up towards the middle of the Carlisle half, but Luton send it back in, and it's kept alive on the edge of the area. A little bit of knee control there and a bit more fancy footwork in there from Oliver Lee. In the end though, the man on loan from Birmingham loses possession, and Carlisle clear out towards this right hand side. Tom Miller running into a bit of space. Griffith knew he had to take the ball there, because had Miller flicked that over him, Asamoah might have been in there. That was dogged defensive play from Griffith. Now Asamoah's spun off the throw-in, going into the penalty area down the right hand side. Good tackle from Griffith again though. Good strong stuff from the Luton left back, and United are forced back towards halfway. Good clever play from Granger though, keeping that alive. Feeds it inside to Joyce on halfway. He in turn passes it back to Atkinson, looks at his forward options and then tries to clip one out left hand side in search of Bastianeri, who pulled out to that left hand side, won his header up towards Charlie Wyke on the edge of the Luton penalty area. He gives it back into the middle of the half for Luke Joyce, spreads it right hand side looking for Tom Miller, trying to control it on his head under a bit of pressure. Right tight on the touchline, right hand side, and then a loose touch. Oh, he'd done all the hard work there, and then as he tried to take it past his man, he got the angle all wrong and carried it straight out of play, to a bit of derision from the home fans. Yeah, absolutely. He'd done the hard work though, hadn't he? Absolutely, yeah. Oh well, I'm sure he'll have more opportunities. Big stand over to the right hand side here at Kenilworth Road. Sort of a tantamount to a cot really, isn't it? To that right hand side, stretching around the corner of the ground there. Basically just a series of conservatories opposite us that makes the executive boxes such as they are here at Kenilworth Road. They don't look like executive boxes. They really don't they? If you saw somebody sort of in there having their Sunday dinner with their feet up, with curry on or something like that, Strictly. Make sure I get a BBC one. You like Strictly? I do like a bit of Strictly and Bake Off. I think I'm the only person on the sport team. In fact, I tell a lie, Paul Newton likes a bit of Strictly actually. I've outed him there in case he's never said it on the air. Kennedy on the ball, middle of the Luton half for Carlisle United. 1-0 down here if you are just joining us. Former loan player Marriott with the goal in the 4th minute. United certainly haven't looked overpowered or overawed by Luton, but a bit of quick passing sort of got Marriott free on the edge of the area, and boy, he made Carlisle pay. Plenty of time left though. Bayern Munich have the lead against Olympiacos in the Champions League. I'll let you know their goal scorer in due course. It's also Lyon 1-0 up against Ghent, also in the Champions League. Keep my eyes out for the scores for Arsenal and Chelsea in action this evening. Check in League 2 in just a moment, but here come Luton down the right hand side. That's good defending from Granger. Arguably a high foot in the end actually from the Luton right winger there as Granger came over. Not deliberate, but still high foot. Fullback trying to come forwards, always very fortunately broken through into the penalty area. Carlisle have to be careful.
Great
and what
tackle.
an excellent tackle that was from Luke Joyce. As the fullback coming forwards tried to control the ball, he completely miscontrolled it, and it totally took him past Danny Granger. So fortunately he then slid in and cut it back, and it looked like the striker was just running on to wallop it home, and Luke Joyce came over and prodded it behind for a corner. Had to get it right or it would have been a penalty and a chance for Luton to go 2-0 up. Still have that though with this corner from the right, swung in towards the near post. Oh, and Gillespie didn't get there. It was an awkward one. It was really fished into his 6-yard area, and the man coming across the path of the ball got there just ahead of him, but thankfully for Carlisle headed it over the bar. As we go into the 14th minute, it remains Luton the Hatters 1, Carlisle United 0. And there is a bit of work to do here, isn't there?
Yeah, they're a very slick passing team. They move the ball really quickly. They've got pace up front as well. So a lot of work to do.
Pasquinelli came deep for the ball there, but he was closed down quickly. Had to go back to Mark Gillespie, and in the end United get a throw in just before halfway on this right hand side. That's where in League 2 it's Bristol Rovers 0, Stevenage 1, Crawley 0, who Carlisle face at Brunton Park on Saturday. Northampton 1, Mansfield 0, Exeter 1. Notts County already 2-0 up against Barnet as Luton break here on the right. Might be a shot coming in from Green. Oh, it did well, but it was always just a yard too high. It really did well. Fantastic technique actually there.
There's a great strike.
Plymouth, of course, who were beaten by Exeter in their Devon derby last time out. They're already behind again, league leaders. Plymouth 0, Leyton Orient 1. Kennedy caught on the ball as Carlisle try and play out from goal. Gillespie has to go aerial again, lifting it forwards. It's going to fall, unfortunately, towards Asamoah rather than White, which means that Luton clear, but Kennedy picks up the second ball in midfield. Over to that left-hand side, and Danny Granger flicks it further down the line. White puts pressure on his man, and Carlisle get a throw in just on the left-hand side of the Luton penalty area, and an opportunity to try and work something into that box. It'd be good to get an early equaliser, Dino.
Yeah, we need to start creating a little bit more pressure now.
Feel like anything's possible, don't you, when you've got Dean Walling alongside you in commentary on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. If anyone can get it done, it's Dino in commentary. Fingers crossed that we're both cheering a Carlisle goal very shortly after United went behind early in this match. And if you have missed it today, don't forget the news that Keith Coles agreed an extension through to 2018 on his Carlisle contract. Could be a chance for Kennedy on the edge of the area. Takes a thrash, falls to Miller. Oh, the goalkeeper saves it point blank. Carlisle did ever so well there, getting it into the danger area. Shot on goal, and Miller just couldn't dig it out of his feet and work the keeper enough. Joyce gets it back to Gillespie as Luton clear. Gillespie's got to be careful. Plays it to Danny Granger. United have tidied that well. Joyce up to Kennedy now. Knows that I don't think he's got the opportunity to turn out of trouble, although he has to show good footwork to do so. Then plays it left hand side, and it's sent forward by Ellis for Carlisle. Miller gives chase. He's just really worked the goalkeeper as Carlisle look to respond. 1-0 down in this game at Luton, but having a go at the Hatters now, although here they come again with Griffiths down the left hand side. It's a tremendous ball in towards Marriott, and Ellis thankfully swept in behind the forward, who's already scored once tonight, and cleared away for Carlisle. Poor pass out of defence though from Ellis, allows Luton back on the ball on this left hand side with McGeechan looking infield towards Lee. Then Griffiths, the left back, just over halfway. Forward he goes again towards Marriott. Joyce tidies up, caught as he did so. Forwards it goes, and White brings it down to Bastianeri, but he once again turns into trouble and then has to turn quickly out. But Carlisle do keep possession. Over to that left-hand side, and Danny Granger, who will try and stop them going forwards. Clipped out, that is a brilliant ball, right-hand side to Derek Asamoah. One-on-one against his man going into the penalty area. Fizzes it into the middle. Miller almost onto it. The two of them go down in the penalty area. Carlisle fans at the far end would probably want a penalty, but I don't think they'll get it. No. And it's cleared away by Luton, and it puts them straight away on the counter-attack again. Crosses deep and over Not over the goal, not just over the fans, over the stand, the scoreboard, everything, and out of Kenilworth Road.
I don't think I've ever seen such a quick 16 minutes of football.
It's
It's
amazing,
from
actually,
end
yes.
to end, literally.
17 minutes gone, yeah, quite incredible, isn't it?
Literally end to end. We've had chances at both ends.
Exciting stuff.
It was a great chance from Tom, to be fair. He hit the target, should have done a little bit better.
Yeah, he should. A few minutes ago, that one. He sort of had to dig it out of his feet, didn't he? I don't think he quite expected it. It ping-ponged into him, and then he had to dig it out of his feet, but you're right. Maybe he ought to have done better. Barcelona 1, Roma 0 in the Champions League. Who else but Suarez? If it's not him, it's Neymar. This time it is Suarez. Sheffield United 1, Shrewsbury 0, Connor Salmon. Lewandowski's made it. Bayern Munich 2, Olympiacos 0. Douglas Costa had got the first one. Morecambe 0, Cambridge 1. Leon Legg with that goal. Lifted forwards by Carlisle United through Atkinson up towards the edge of the area. Now Rains feels he was pushed in the back, but the referee having none of it, and Luton will bring it away down this left-hand side. Griffiths looking to clear down the line, charged down well by Miller. It'll be a good battle between those two. Miller pushing up and trying to get at the Luton left-back, who's shown good awareness and passing actually, hasn't he? Not just very good fitness. Yeah,
we've got to start pushing them back the other way now. You know, they've come out of us really quick. They came out of the traps really, really quickly. I think the game's just settling down a little bit now.
Grant's put Exeter up against Mansfield, and Joel Byrome's made it Crawley 0, Northampton 1. Keep you up to speed on all the scores. We seem to be getting a bit more now with the mobile internet around us here at Kenilworth Road. Ball up towards halfway for Carlisle is cut out by Smith of Luton, one of their two centre midfielders in there with Oliver Lee. Out right hand side it comes. On the ball now, Danny Green on that right hand side. Came in from MK Dons in the summer. Plays a good ball out to the right, but Kennedy saw it first and snuffed it out for a Luton throw-in. Be picked up by Lawless there, right back. Looking up towards the edge of the area, and a little step over there from McCoy. Got it to Marriott, but he wasn't actually alive to what McCoy was going to try. Erry, ball over the top, asking a lot of Asamoah. I don't think he'll risk chasing that one, and beats the goalkeeper too, who can't stop it going behind for the goal kick to Luton. So they're looking to take it to 11 wins against Carlisle United to United's 6, and they have the early advantage in this one. But they've conceded 9 goals here at Kenilworth Road. That will give Carlisle United a feeling that they can get something out of this. A goal every game. However, United have conceded 16 on the travels this season. Clearance away from Granger for the Cumbrians on halfway. 20th minute of this match. Ball over the top for Luton. Almost releases Marriott again, but for Rains, important clearance. Battling in there, a couple of the Carlisle midfielders, including Kennedy. Thought about lunging in there. Erry trying to get in tight to Oliver Lee, but he's got quick feet. And the man on loan from Birmingham gets it away to Lee, trying to get up towards the edge of the area. McCoy caught there. I think he lost the ball. I think it ran away from him, but he was perhaps then tagged by Luke Joyce, and the referee gives a free kick right on the edge of the D as Carlisle United look to defend at Luton here, and he's calling somebody out, actually. Is he calling somebody out to have a word? No, he just wants the ball so he can put a bit of magic spray around it. I see. And that's just the stare he's getting from Luke Joyce, who doesn't think it was a free kick. 20th minute, going into the 21st. If you're just joining us, Carlisle went behind through a goal from Jack Marriott in the 4th minute. If you think, I know that name. Yeah, he had a loan spell with Carlisle the August before last. One of the many loans that Graham Kavanagh brought into the club. And he's shown a bit of speed and footwork, nifty stuff so far. Now, looks like Green's going to take this one on. Lines up the free kick over the bar, goal kick, no danger. Again, the technique right, it dipped nicely, but it was always way too high.
Yeah, way too high, yeah. I didn't think it was a free kick, to be quite honest. Yeah, it was a bit harsh. I'd have been disappointed if that had been me.
You owed, didn't you? Hey, Barcelona are rubbish, aren't they? By Munich as well. 3-0 up, now Thomas Muller with the goal. Barcelona are also 2-0 up in their game. Lionel Messi back amongst the goals after his return from about 6 weeks out injured. Charlie White with a good little turn around the corner there, trying to get at the Luton back line, but Cuthbert tidies it up to goalkeeper Tyler. He hacks it productively back to halfway. Under it Rains, wins the header forwards, but it falls only into the orange shirts of Luton. Kennedy trying to force the issue now, but he's too late to get there, and Luton clear. Harry heads it out left-hand side, and Kennedy might win the second ball, but not against Lawless, who jumps well, the right back. Giving away a few inches on Kennedy, actually, but got it well and got it clear. Thrown to United, just inside the Luton half on this left-hand side. And bit of work for Carlisle to do here. These Luton players don't look mugs. Good forward line of Marriott and McCoy. clearance forwards that Joyce brings down well in that anchoring midfield role for United. Wants to clip it in towards Miller on that right-hand side. Does so now, finds him, has Asamoah inside. Asamoah short of options and rich in men around him, marking him up towards the edge of the area. Just gets it back on a little return ball with Luke Joyce, trying to play the give and go with Tom Miller. Didn't quite read it, Miller, and in the end cleared away by Luton. But a Carlisle throw-in to the right-hand side of the opposition penalty area. Plenty of time for United, of course. We're only in the 22nd minute, but we're approaching the midway point in this first half, and they do trail by that Jack Marriott goal to nil. On the right, Miller throws it into the area. Bit of a tangle in there, can't quite see who between. Eri has it right on the edge, trying to tease a tackle, maybe out of his man. Puts the cross in, but in the end, McGeechin just sort of puts a foot on it, controls, and then sprints away down the left-hand side. United a bit tardy to get a man out to him on halfway. Almost a bit of a slip there from Smith of Luton, but Carlisle can't capitalise. And Lee will look to stroke the ball across the midfield to McCoy, coming deep from the Luton forward line. Has the option of his man out on the right wing. Poor pass though, actually. Did all the hard work there, McCoy. I don't know why he's barking at the right winger, because it's a dreadful ball to him.
That's the first time they give the ball away.
Yeah, that's Sunday League stuff, isn't it, that? But the most experienced player, you do something wrong and then you just shout at the least experienced player.
Blame somebody else.
Chelsea have taken the lead in the Champions League. Gary Cahill with the goal against Maccabi Tel Aviv. On the right-hand side, ball forwards for Carlisle. White trying to get there. Cuthbert clears well. Very good defender. I've seen him have a number of good games against Carlisle United. Signed from Leyton Orient in the summer. You just wonder why clubs give him up. Swindon had him. They let him go to Leyton Orient. The former Celtic man came through the youth ranks there, as did Paddy McCourt, who's on the bench. I just can't see why teams let Cuthbert go unless he just decides he's had enough of the club.
Yeah, it could possibly.
Ball into the penalty area, flick on in there from White, battling him in there for it. Another Carlisle man, spin and shot from Rains. Well, he didn't look like a striker as he turned, pirouetted on a sixpence there, a la Carl Hawley, but unfortunately he was more like Michael Rains when it came to the shot on goal.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Yeah, it was just a little bit off balance.
Good spin though.
Yeah, great spin.
I still love watching Carl Hawley do that. Player I grew up watching, Dean Sturridge, could do that very well. Control it back to goal and just sort of step and turn and shoot all in one.
All in one movement.
And how do you do it? You can't do it.
You can't defend against it. No, you can't.
Yeah, Dean Sturridge was a master at doing that, but Carl Hawley, when I was very first here and I had the pleasure of going to the odd game alongside Derek Lacey, I used to really enjoy Hawley doing that as well. It's a real talent, and if you can find a striker who can do that, then you are in business. Left-hand side, Carlisle don't quite have that option, but Charlie White's the sort of player who might develop that in his game, and Derek Asamoah, always a threat. Carlisle do have threats as they look to restore parity in this game. A goal down in the 25th. Throwing down the line from Granger. Looked like a foul throw to me. Eri picks it up, puts the cross in. Miller almost onto it, and I think he's headed it all the way, and it's almost gone for a throw-in. I think he took a clonk as he got up and won that one, to be fair to him. Got up, I think he'd wanted to have glanced it off the right-hand side of his head towards goal, and he somehow met it plumb on the centre of his forehead, and it went almost back where it came from.
That's what Tom does. He comes from deep, he comes from, the opposite side of the pitch. He comes in on the far post, and he will get you goals. And he's a great target man, with ball from the opposite side.
Arguably had Carlisle's two best chances in this game.
Unlucky with the header. I'm going to say he was unlucky with the header. I think he saw it last minute.
Yeah, definitely. He sort of made the run, didn't he, in the hope, and then the ball was there. Rains wins the header forwards for United, and it gets Eri onto the ball on halfway. Tries to skip away from Oliver Lee, then goes in search of Asamoah, but the ball's far too heavy, and you could hear the Carlisle bench shouting at him there. Keith Kills already hooked him off before half-time in the game when he thought he was trying to play too much before Carlisle had earned the right. Little reassuring tap on the shoulder there from Luke Joyce to say, come on, let's have a good game from you. And it's funny, when he came in, I asked Bastien Eri what Keith Kills had said he wanted from him, and Keith just said, Bastien, I want your best ever season. Because he had a bit of a track record of coming in, showing loads of sort of cosmopolitan flair and quality, and then performing a bit like this, looking a little bit sort of sulky out there and not quite making it happen enough. And
he's not kept possession really, has he? He's played 2 or 3 balls into the channel. They've rolled out a play. He's not really kept the ball.
Sometimes he gets on the ball and he dances past a couple of men, plays a give and go, and you think, where have they got him from? And then others, you don't notice him so much. Left-hand side with Kennedy, puts the cross in towards goal. Asamoah gets there ahead of Cuthbert, makes it awkward for the big defender and protected the ball well. Back to Kennedy on that left. Granger sends the cross in, good play, headed away by Griffith, the Back coming over and sweeping. Another header from Griffith as Miller sent it back in. Joyce tries to reload on the edge of the area. Cleared once more by Luton. McGeechin with the final clearing touch. And in the end, Atkinson has to send it all the way back
At least it's a little bit more pressure, though. A little bit more pressure from us.
Just ratcheting it up, aren't they, a gear or two, Carlisle United. Trying to come forwards again here with Kennedy. The defender made a back for him quite cleverly. And then Asamoah trying to break down the left. Fouls his man. And it's a throw-in just outside the opposition, the Luton penalty area. They lead 1-0 on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Elsewhere, Northampton 2 up at Crawley through John Joe O'Toole. Morecambe have equalised against Cambridge through Lee Molyneux. Any other scores from League 2 or the Champions League? No, I think you're up to date on certainly the latest. Plymouth, as we say, trailing again though. Just a point their lead at the moment at the top of the table. However, they are still 6 points clear of Accrington, the top side in the playoff places. Of course, Accrington won't encroach on them tonight due to their game being called off, waterlogged their match with Hartlepool tonight. Carlisle get a free kick for a little nudge, fairly innocuous stuff on halfway. And Granger will lift this forwards. Scored what I think will be United's goal of the season in the 95th minute to equalise against Portsmouth on Saturday. It will take something special for that not to be the goal of the season. Lifted up towards the edge of the area. Rains looking to flick on. Does flick on. Goalkeeper comes, punches, misses. Falls, scramble, just wide of the back post. Who got that touch? It's been given as a goal kick. Carlisle berating the referee. Can't believe it's not a corner. I didn't see. We are dancing around this enormous pillar to see that goal here. And I have no idea who got that final touch. Carlisle players think it was a Luton man. The ref doesn't. And it's a goal kick.
It's a nightmare position for that for the post to be in. Absolute nightmare.
We have no idea how he's given the goal kick. A few of the people in the director's box, Colin West, of course, Carlisle's assistant manager, in there as well, and he's looking at me and holding his hands out. John Nixon too. But it is a goal kick. To be honest, I had no idea who touched it, but they seem clear. Oh, Charlie White's shirt's being held here clearly. Referee gesticulates nothing, but I mean, you and I could see from here, Dean Walling, that the shirt of Charlie White's
totally clearly.
You could see his entire back, couldn't you? I mean, if he'd have had a tattoo or a t-shirt with a message on there, it'd have been booked. So much of it was exposed.
The referee 6 and 2 threes, I think that was the thing.
Yeah, I think the Luton fans are just starting to sense that Carlisle are getting a bit too much of a foothold now in this game, and they've just started to try and cheer their team on for no particular reason. I guess trying to get them back alive in this one. Asamoah, right hand side of the Luton penalty area, just pods it over his man's toe. Neat footwork from him. Infield he comes to Luke Joyce. Hasn't really got an option. He's under pressure here. Plays it back to Michael Rains. Got to be careful with his back pass. Oh, and they played that splendidly, Carlisle. Joyce and Rains now out to Ellis, I think it was, and then back in to Gillespie, who clears forwards in search of Miller, trying to win the flick on over his man, but Griffith gets up well. He's a good player, the left back for Luton. Down this left hand side they're coming towards Jack Marriott, trying to get it out of his feet. Michael Rains, man and ball.
Great tackle.
Oh, you'd have loved to have made that one, wouldn't you, Dino?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a great tackle.
Slid in, just presented enough there to Michael Rains,
well.
And everything went out of play. Square from Smith from the throw-in. Doesn't find his man, but picked back up by Lee for Luton. Forced back towards halfway by Carlisle. Clipped down the line now. Cropping up again on that right-hand side here, Oliver Lee. Bit of nifty footwork from him, and in the end, clattered out of play by Charlie White. Decent player, him. 24, it would be make or break this spell here for him, surely, if he's going to have any hope at a go of things at Birmingham at 24. You would have thought his time's running out there unless he really produces on this loan spell here at Luton. But he's got a bit of something about him. Quite tall, athletic looking midfielder in there. Into the penalty area from the throw-in. Kennedy heads it up towards the edge of the area. Ellis further, and the volley from the edge was nicely struck actually there. Was that Mark O'Brien, I think it was? No, it wasn't O'Brien. Who is it? Jonathan Smith. Yeah. More holding midfielder. Just came onto that one and bonked it at goal. But had it been on target, I think that would have been in.
Yeah, it's opportunist strike. Opportunist strike.
Arsenal have taken the lead against Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League. Mesut Ozil with it. Woking 1, Tranmere 0. Is the scoreline in the National League. Of course, Woking the side that Paul Cox will kick off his Barrow managerial career against on Saturday. He's watching them, and seeing them taking the lead against Tranmere tonight won't be the easiest thing that he'd have hoped to have gone and seen there. Wonder what would be right. Would you want to see your opposition getting murdered, or would you want to see them sort of win, so they came in complacent. You don't know, do you? When they're murdered, they can come with really totally rallied. If they win, they could be a bit complacent.
Absolutely.
Hard to know what a manager would handpick in that situation. Either way, that's what Paul Cox, the new man at Barrow, is doing. Down the line for Luton, Michael Rains gets up and wins his header over McCoy, manhandling him a little, I have to say. Potted forward in search of Marriott, offside, and it's given. As you heard there, the official's right on top of that situation. And a free kick to Carlisle, which Atkinson will take. Atkinson, one of, I think it's 5 players in total on short-term contracts that run out either at the end of January or the start of February. Brought in with injury history, Atkinson, and I guess they wanted him to prove that he was fit as well as able.
Yeah.
You would have thought, the very fact that he's in the team tonight and has been in recent games since getting himself back in there, that he'll be one of those offered a new deal. Asamoah, you'd think, could get a new deal as well. And then you're looking at Balanta, Osei and Thompson, and maybe a bit more of a question mark over there, as Keith Gill says he does know who he wants to keep, though. Down the left-hand side, Kennedy plays in, Baskineri tight to the byline here, and the touchline in that corner, man all over him, gives it to Kennedy. Danny Granger wants it now up on the left of the penalty area, will lift the cross in towards goal. Decent real hook, one at the back post, Ellis is in! Oh, and the offside flag went up, and he couldn't beat the keeper anyway. Was it the keeper or the foot of the post he headed it against? I don't know, but it did look like Ellis was just going to head home. Flag went up anyway, free kick to Luton. He probably should have scored either way.
Offside.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's offside. Arsenal have a second. Alexis Sanchez with the goal in the Champions League. Arsenal 2, Dinamo Zagreb 0. As Magician, oh dear, that's a loose touch from him. Charlie White gets onto it because of it, trying to hook it over his shoulder, I think, from the goal kick. And just put it straight across the midfield, and Carlisle on the ball. Joyce and Ellis and Rains got to be careful. Neat passing. Oh, and then Rains has played it straight into his man. Gillespie's coming out to goal and will get there and punches it off the floor away and clear.
I think if he'd have held it, he'd have slid out of the box with it.
Yeah, that was a good decision from him there. Carlisle will get a free kick here for the push from Cuthbert on White. Very obvious there for the referee, but he came sliding out, wanted to gather at Gillespie, realised his momentum would take him out the area and cleverly punched it to David Atkinson. Could have easily just come and kicked it out for a throw in there, wanted to try and keep possession and did so.
Yeah, it's a good bit of play by the goalkeeper. Sensible bit of play by the goalkeeper.
BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Carlisle 1-0 down at Luton if you're just joining us. 34th minute, half an hour ago Luton took the lead through former Carlisle man Jack Marriott. Flick on, Rains, left hand side, in, shot over the bar, and it's Ellis again on the flick from Rains this time, and he was in. And it's funny because Atkinson got jeered because he slipped as he took his free kick. Rains flipped on, Ellis was in. And to be quite honest, it fell to the wrong man because he just tried to sort of rifle it over the goalkeeper, didn't he?
Chip it over the keeper, just try to lift it over the keeper.
Yeah, not quite a lob, was it? It was sort of a flighted lift, and he just got the technique wrong. A couple of chances have fallen to Carlisle central defenders.
Yeah.
What would you have done in that position?
Headed it.
You'd have been the one flicking it on, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'd have got excited like Ellis did myself and probably booted it into the fans behind the goal. Forward it goes from the Luton goalkeeper.
For another chance, mate, another chance.
Miller caught his man there in the midfield. And Griffith happy to go down and make sure the ref understands the situation and gives the free kick. 10 minutes away from half-time now on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Don't forget, at half-time we'll hear once again from Suzanne Kidd, the Carlisle United Finance Director, on a number of the big announcements over the last 48 hours for Carlisle. Headed away by Ellis under a bit of pressure there from Luton forwards. Still have it just to the right of the Carlisle penalty area. Looking to try and find the angle for Green to get the cross in. Instead plays it up towards the edge of the area. Neat little bit of footwork there on the edge. Kept alive by Marriott for Luton, but cleared by Carlisle. Picked up again by Luton on the edge. Oliver Lee on the ball. White trying to tackle him. Manages to escape him. On that right-hand side, Lawless off Granger, thrown to Luton. Something about them, this Luton side. They can be got at, definitely, but when they go forwards, they've got creative players up there. Can't help thinking United will score at least one here tonight. It's about whether they can stop Luton scoring again. Behind it goes for a Carlisle goal kick. Just don't see Luton stopping United's score here.
We've come back into the game well. I think we're slightly on top now. I think we've had the more possession last 10 minutes.
Cuthbert and Griffith are liking their defence. Not so convinced by O'Brien and Lawless. I think United going forwards down that left-hand side will find joy. Another foul from Cuthbert there on a man. That's the second time he's done that. He's run 20 yards there after the man for Carlisle who wins the flick on and just pushed him over. And the ref hasn't talked to him this time. But I feel only because Cuthbert had a moan at him for giving the free kick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious. Both hands in the shoulder blades.
I think that's his last one. I think next one will be a yellow, I think.
Good talking to here from the ref, probably about the repeated fouling, and also, I suspect it's about gobbing off to him as well. Useful defender there, but for me, you just got to let the man go and stay in and do your defending. It's taken an age to make this discussion clear to him. Finally, we're going to get back underway. 37th minute now. Atkinson going to take this free kick. Once again, lifts it up towards the edge, looking for the flick on from Rains. Once again, he wins it towards the back post, and the goalkeeper just sort of palms it away from danger and then gathers it at the second attempt. Rains this time deciding not to flick on to a teammate, to try and flick on and catch out the goalkeeper, and almost did, but Tyler did well and cleared. Now Luton looking to come forwards with Smith. Has McGeechan to his left, might take on the shot. Good tracking back from Joyce. Shot might still come in from Danny Green, I think it was. Maybe it was Oliver Lee, in fact. And over the bar it goes, and it's another goal kick to Carlisle United.
I think we've got the beating of them in the air on attacking set pieces. You know, we've won the last 3 or 4 attacking set pieces, so I think we've got the beating of them in the air. The 2 centre halves, you know, look beatable in the air.
I fancy that too. Big win there from Cuthbert against Miller on this occasion. Miller coming in off the right touch line, and I think Miller even fancied it this time. Rains doesn't win that one over McCoy. Falls to Marriott on the edge of the area. Looks a bit cumbersome. Ellis, as he tries to stop him, and he got around and got the shot in, but Gillespie firmly behind this one. He is a tricky customer to deal with, is Jack Marriott, and I think they need to stop that at source, because if he gets running one-on-one against United's central defence, he seems to have the measure of them. As White goes up and thinks he's won the flick on there. This time Cuthbert gets the free kick, and ironic cheering from the home fans. The ref having a quick word with Charlie White. Seemed to lead with an arm a little bit there. Is that the implication?
A little bit. I think the defender bought that one, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Had a good moan back at the ref, didn't he, as he was getting told off for repetitive fouling, but perhaps always going to get that one. Forwards it comes from the Luton goalkeeper. 39 on the clock, 6 to the break. Flag goes up, offside, free kick Carlisle. It's gone a bit scrappy now. Difficult to know which way the balance lies. The score lies in favour of Luton. 4th minute Marriott goal separates the two sides. You do feel that the momentum is now with Carlisle, though.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Except on the break, Luton aren't offering as much. But
yeah,
Carlisle
they do look quick on the break.
Need to find a way in. Grange trying to win the flick on there, hasn't won this one. Granger picks it up on the left. Infield he comes to Joyce. Carlisle still have men up in the penalty area. Played up to the feet of Ellis on the edge, and he, oh dear, he slips and trying to play a bit of football there. Ellis on the edge of the area, and probably wanted it sent up to his head rather than his feet, and as he tried to control, he slipped, and now it's Luton coming back at Carlisle, and they've got men out of position, and Luton up towards the edge of the area and Marriott, and Granger's dived in on him but effected the tackle well. Gets it to Bastianeri. Carlisle momentarily have 3-on-3 here coming forwards. Erie slips it left hand side for Derek Asamoah coming into the penalty area. You fancy him to try the shot, narrows the angle himself, gets it across into the middle looking for Wyke, and somehow Luton contrives to not only stop the shot but also to clear it.
Down injured on the far side.
Yeah, I think Marriott's gone down in that tackle on him from Bastianeri. No, not Eric, one of the defenders on it. It was Eric who broke, and yeah, it looks like
I think that's the first time we've got actually tight on Marriott when he's got the ball onto his feet. Didn't let him turn.
Yeah, and the angle, it was a law of diminishing returns there for Asamoah, wasn't it? Do you take the shot on first time? No, I'll just try and take it on another step. Your angle narrows, there are more men in the middle, and in the end the chance just sort of fizzled out for him.
He did, yeah.
Players going over to get drinks on the far side now. I tried to think what the temperature was. It was 9 degrees in the mid-afternoon as we were coming down. It'll be lower than that now. Hovering above freezing, not quite at that freezing level. I've pulled out the winter snood. Dean Walling has the gloves and the woolly hat on. I must say, the way the game's gone, there's been plenty of excitement. I've actually taken off my gloves. I just warmed up as this game's drawn on, but
it's been a very good game. It's been a great 45 minutes.
It's been exciting,
It's been a great 40 minutes, 5 to go.
Yeah, exactly. Telban Haim's been sent off Maccabi Tel Aviv, so Chelsea a goal up and a man up in the Champions League this evening. And as we wait for the game to get back underway, the referee is doing a final few checks, making sure the right complement of players is on the pitch, which involves Jack Marriott being momentarily off, and throw-in taken there from Kennedy and straight out to play for the goal kick. That's an interesting one, isn't it? That was a big debate on Match of the Day when, I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it Rudy Histed of Aston Villa decided he was giving the ball back, but because one of his teammates was off the pitch, he wanted to throw it out for the goal kick rather than straight back to the goalkeeper. Joe Hart decided to try and get in the way and stop it going for the goal kick, and it came off him and went behind for the corner. And Aston Villa then contested it, and there was quite a lot of debate on Match of the Day over what was right there. But
what is right and what is wrong? I don't know.
You want to throw it out, you'll give it him back, but I'm giving it back as a goal kick. That's your choice, isn't it? Pushing the back there from McGeechan on Miller. Free kick to Carlisle. But Jermaine Genus agreed with me on that one, and I think he's a super pundit, by the way, on Match of the Day now. Jermaine Genus, a real asset to the various different media who are using him. Very erudite, very interesting, and plenty of knowledge. Be like working with you and Chris Lumsden, Dino. Ball up towards the edge of the area. Rains can't win the flick on. Picked up left-hand side by Ellis. Luton appeal for the offside. Eri picks it up, puts the cross in towards goal. Decent ball, flick towards goal by Rains, but once again the goalkeeper alive to the danger, not to be caught out, and quickly bowls it out to goal, looking for the break down the left-hand side. Luke Joyce is going to have to work hard here to keep up with Josh McCoy. Marriott's back on. Luton back up to 11 players. Good tackle coming in from Charlie White here on Josh McCoy. Striker on striker, but Luton just about keep possession. Asamoah trying to help out with the defending as well. Joyce anchoring, but McCoy takes it the long way down the left-hand side. Plays it to McGeechan on the edge of the area. Infield to Lee. He lines up the shot, tries to play it through on the edge, and in the end Ellis just runs it back somewhat kamikazely towards his own goal and then clears it upfield and gives Luton back unnecessary possession there. I think he just changed his mind as he was about to clear early. McCoy has it to the left of the Carlisle penalty area again. Inside he comes to Lee, looking first time round the corner for Marriott, right across the face of goal, and had it been on target it would have been 2-0. Thankfully it drifts beyond the back post and a goal kick to Carlisle in the 44th minute. He's a danger.
Yeah, he's good at his feet. He's good. He can turn. Yeah, it was a little bit what you were talking earlier. He gets it into his feet, turns in one movement and shoots. A la Carl Hawley.
Yeah, live, tight angle wasn't it on the shot, but flashed it across the face of goal, and Gillespie was getting nowhere near that had it found the bottom corner. Good interception from Joyce. Clever round the corner pass to Miller, pulling off his man and fouled by him as well. Played forwards over the top in towards White, through on goal. Yes! Nets for Carlisle United. Two defenders tried to side through him as he went into the penalty area. It was a super ball forwards out to midfield. Don't know if it was Joyce or Atkinson, but it went through between the two centre halves. White got there. They tried to clean him out. They couldn't. He scores, and it's Carlisle United 1-1 now at Luton.
Absolutely fantastic goal. One ball over the top. They're the weakness, the two centre halves. Two fullbacks are decent, but the two centre halves, we can exploit the two centre halves definitely.
Yeah, well, when that one got played in between the two of them, O'Brien, I've not been impressed by him at all. He's a player who came through at my hometown team Derby, and they really thought big things of him. Sent him out on loan to Scotland. I think it was Motherwell, and he really didn't impress there. And in the end, he's been released, and he finds himself at Luton, and he looked very slow there actually, and Cuthbert couldn't handle White going through the middle either. It wasn't just a boot over the top, was it? It was a clever ball looking for White, and there was plenty of backspin on it. It was a pitching wedge ball forwards, wasn't it? And it allowed White to run onto it and just bury it. And Tyler in goal has saved a couple for Luton, but getting nowhere near that one. 2 minutes time added on now, and we're into those by 10 seconds. Luton, a bit of defensive work to do. I told you I thought Carlisle would score. I told you I didn't think Luton would keep United out. It's all about now whether United can make sure they're not breached again. They can do that. They've got at least a point here, but with the forward options they've got on the pitch and on the bench, you wouldn't bank against United finding the net once again. Scored a couple more goals. Oh, hang on, shot from the edge of the area for Luton as they look to break back at Carlisle. Eri on the ball.
Asamoah.
Yeah, Asamoah might have been the relief ball there, but Carlisle didn't see him with Eri, and drilled over the top looking for the run of Charlie White again. I think that one will drift beyond him. On this occasion, that one was played with the iron rather than the pitching wedge, wasn't it? So it didn't hold
and
up
no
for
backspin.
him. Yeah,
it had top spin.
No backspin at all. Just skipped on through. White gave that one up pretty early. Well, Carlisle level. And now we can finally say it's been a thoroughly blooming good half, can't we?
It's been a great half, yeah.
It had everything but a Carlisle goal. Trying to come forwards, Luton again with McGeechan here as we go into the last minute of 2 added on in this match. This is the last 60 seconds of this first half on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Interception from Joyce for Carlisle to Kennedy on that left wing. Tight to the touchline, gives it back down the line to Danny Granger. He decides to go back to goalkeeper Mark Gillespie on his left foot, but boy, he's got a left foot. Thunders that one forwards into the Luton half. Kennedy can't win the second ball. Carlisle do get the throw in on halfway on that left hand side. I'll go through all the scores in all the competitions up and down the country at half time. No score of course for Workington Reds, their game at Salford this evening off due to the waterlogged pitch. Ball forwards for United. Last 20 seconds of this first half, nodded forwards by Granger on the return from Luton. Joyce keeping it alive and gets it down the line to Derek Asamoah. Is there time for United to take the lead at the end of this first half? Asamoah falls on the ball and gets a boot up his backside, and the ref gives him the free kick there, and quite right too. Alex Lawless there, a bit cowardly. He nudged Asamoah onto the ball, and then before he'd had any chance to try and get out of the way, he just gave him a kick up the backside. I mean, kind of funny if it weren't such a big man on such a little man.
Yeah, it's a big moment.
This looks like bullying now.
It's a big moment. We've been winning most of the headers in and around that penalty spot.
Yeah, they've struggled with Rains, haven't they? He's flicked on most things when the ball's been lifted forwards. Now they've got a free kick just to the left of the penalty area. Probably 2 kicks left in this half. This free kick and then whatever the first touch is in that penalty area. Will it be a goal? Whipped in near post. It's a poor free kick and it's cleared away. And as predicted, that is it for the first half. The first half that leaves Carlisle United 1-1 here at Luton. And the classic football adage of all to play for in the second half, Dean Walling.
Yeah, it's been a good first half. Good football from both teams. I think we've been on top for the last 15-20 minutes. But we've done really well, really well.
Scribbling notes to my right, the Carlisle assistant manager Colin West, who watches these games from an elevated position and feeds things back through a headset to Keith Kill on the bench. Sort of, you do get a different perspective. Sam Allardyce likes to do it as a manager, doesn't he? Watch from higher up and then perhaps, migrate to the touchline later on in games. What do you think you'll have seen there? What do you think will be the ways he expects Carlisle to try and get at Luton in that second half?
Yeah, well, we've exposed them definitely down the centre. 2 centre halves are slow paced. We've exposed them down the sides as well with a little bit of pace with Asamoah. So second half pretty much a lot of the same, to be quite honest.
Who's impressed you for Carlisle?
Well, Tom's done really well down this right hand side.
We know you love Tom Miller. Who else?
Absolutely.
I mean, Asamoah's pace has endangered him. Obviously, Charlie White with his goal.
Yeah, I think Luke Joyce has done well in the centre there. He's held his position well. He's broke up play in the middle of the park there. He's done really well. I think it's been a good team performance. Slow start. I think they came out of the traps really, really quickly. I don't think we got to grips with them for the first 5-10 minutes. We didn't get close to them, and that's why they outplayed us and outpassed us, and that's why they got the goal early on.
I mean, fans who were at Brunton Park for the Portsmouth game at the weekend will think that sounds a bit familiar, but for me it wasn't quite like that. I don't think Portsmouth completely battered. I don't think Luton completely battered Carlisle in the first 5 like Portsmouth did at the weekend, but they did come alive, didn't they? They got up towards the edge of the area and they came alive in a quick pass and a quick turn and an early shot from Marriott, and Carlisle were undone.
We couldn't deal with them. We couldn't deal with the pace. We couldn't deal with the passing. So that's probably something that the gaffer's got to look at. Over the next few games, a bit of a slow start. And then we've gradually worked our way back into the game.
Second half, which way do you see it going?
Oh, definitely Carlisle. Definitely. I think if we get another goal, we've got to be careful of those on the break. We've got to be careful of Luton on the break. They're very quick, like I said before, very quick, very slick. Marriott's good in and around his feet. If we get tight to him, I think there was one time we got tight to him, didn't let him turn. That's what we've got to do. We've just got to get a little bit tighter when we've not got possession. Options
on the bench as well, should the Luton manager start to think towards that. Craig McHale-Smith, if John still wants them, and Paddy McCall, very talented wide player, getting a little bit old as far as wingers goes now, but still very talented. McHale-Smith is an absolute workhorse. He will run Carlisle's back line to the ground. And Nathan Doyle is a player who I quite like in the midfield, although perhaps not the most offensive-minded players. They do have options, but when you compare them to Ibarre, Gilead, Thompson, McQueen, Dick are coming in steady things. Sweeney's played in all sorts of roles. Carlisle got plenty of artillery to bring on themselves.
Plenty to bring on. At the moment, I'd probably keep it how it is at the moment. Last 15-20 minutes, we either secure it or we either go for it. And that's what the gaffer's got to decide what he wants to do. We'll just see how this game pans out.
BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.
We're about to get back underway here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Carlisle United here in League 2. Keep up to date on the other League 2 goals as they're going, and in the Champions League as we do get back underway here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. At Kenilworth Road, been the home of Luton since 1955, one of the more modern, older sort of stadiums. It's White controls well, under a bit of pressure, plays it left hand side for Kennedy, steps inside, onto Erie, closed down immediately, nibbles it round his man, onto Kennedy, back heel to Granger was a little risky. He tries to switch the play, looking right hand side for Tom Miller early on. Griffith heads away at the back for Luton. McGeechan gathers and gives it back to Griffith, who clears down the left touchline. Controlled expertly by Atkinson and played up to halfway, and Erie has got to be careful here, tried to turn, presents the ball to Luton, and it allows them to come forwards with Smith. Infield they come, a loose touch already from Erie at the start of this second half, and to the right hand side from Lawless to Green come Luton, crossing from Green from the right hand side in towards goal and into the back of the net. Oh, and it's a nightmare start to this second half for Carlisle United. Erie gave the ball away when he really didn't have to, just turned into the tackle. It swept out to the right hand side, Green crosses it in, McCoy got in between the Carlisle defenders and heads it into the back of the net. 46th minute, not even a minute gone in the second half, and once again Carlisle United have to come from behind. It's Luton 2, Carlisle United 1 on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. Oh dear me, Dean Walling, eh? And you've just got back, and that's what we've got to watch.
Absolutely. We wanted a good start. 46 seconds.
46 seconds. Anyway, what have you brought? Tea, coffee, hot chocolate? What have we got? Oh, he's brought me a coffee. What an absolute treat. I'm just checking who's down below me here to make, I better not put my coffee on this ledge, otherwise I could destroy the person sat on the row in front of us. I'll hold it. It'll be fine. There'll be nothing else to write down. Just that goal for Luton Town right at the start of this second half. And Carlisle United with work to do again. I think Bastion Erie will be in real danger of getting pulled here by Keith Curl. Just got the ball, was far too lackadaisical on it, tried to turn straight into his man, and just took it straight off him. 2 passes. It was out on the right where Green crossed in towards McCoy and in the back of the net. 4 passes later in the back of the Carlisle net. And there you go. Now Carlisle United really has to dig deep again and find a way to come from behind once more. Here at Kenilworth Road, crossing towards goal, headed away from a free kick for the home side, trying with a give and go here. Atkinson cuts it out, plays it forwards. Asamoah gives chase, gets it under control, did really well to take that ball. Now he's running at Cuthbert, who just won't have the ability to stop him, surely, if it comes down to a straight run chase. Jinks around him on the edge of the area, buys the free kick there, and I can't quite see how close. I think it's a little bit outside the penalty area, but he gets the free kick right on the edge there, and I don't think McGeechan's happy. I don't think he thinks he fouled him, Dean Walling.
Yeah, he did foul him.
He definitely did.
Us defenders, we never had make liable for a foul.
I never touched him, ref. I mean,
never touched
I did, but well, it's a free kick to Carlisle. It's about level with the penalty spot, isn't it? So it's about 5-6 yards inside the penalty area, but to the right of it. You catch my meaning. And Granger will get some real whip on this. I fancy him to take the shot on here, I really fancy him to take the shot on here. I hope he doesn't blaze it over the bar. Granger to take. 49th minute. Carlisle back behind at Luton, somewhat disappointingly. Just 1 minute into the second half when McCoy scored. Here comes Danny Granger. Plays it up towards the edge of the area, gets it back on the angle, whips it in towards goal. Behind it all the way, the goalkeeper. And ready for that, Dean.
Good set piece, good strike.
Cleared over the top by Luton on the goal kick. Erie underneath this one, and he's let it go under his foot again. He's not had a good start to the second half, although he has played that off his man and brought the throw in for Carlisle. Needs to get his head, needs to, I don't know, he needs to not disappear into his shell, obviously, otherwise he will go off, but he needs to pick and choose when to take risks, risk and reward and all of that. Look at Joyce there, just gets it from the throw-in, first touch back into Granger. Now Granger didn't actually make the best of a fist of clearing it down the line. He feels he was fouled there, he's appealing to the linesman. But the touch from Joyce, it was just a first time cushion touch straight back to him. No faffing around. Ellis into Joyce and back to Ellis on the edge of the area. Carlisle to switch it right hand side in search of Tom Miller. It's going to drop over the head of Griffith. Miller should get onto this one now. Griffith trying to stop him, and the left back just about wins out there. He's done well actually, Griffith. Miller's got to be careful not to foul him and get himself a yellow card. Goes all the way down the left line now to try and get up with Cameron McGeechan, does Tom Miller. He's done really well here, forces McGeechan back inside. He doesn't mind having a go on his right foot, does have a go, And it did dip, but I think it's going to be the ignominy of a throw-in from your shot.
Throw-in, yeah.
Is that the ultimate one for... Is it that or getting nutmegged that's the worst for a footballer?
Yeah, getting nutmegged.
Of course.
And they shout it as well.
Of course they... yeah, you've got to shout. You've got to complete it and you've got to shout it for it to count. Have you sugared this coffee, Dean Morley?
No.
You have, haven't you? Sugar in a coffee?
No.
Oh, whatever next. I think it's only one, maybe a half.
He's still going to drink it.
It's hot and warm. I think the phrase I was looking for there was hot and wet, wasn't I? Anyway, flick on edge of the area as Carlisle looks to get down the Luton end. Cleared away by McGeechan. It's turned into a pretty good ball actually. McCoy gives chase, pushed out wide on the left of the penalty area. Atkinson tracked back all the way. Clears it for a throw-in on the far side.
We started very similar to the first half again. Started slow again. Really slow again.
Certainly has. Oliver Lee has it, middle of the Carlisle half from that throw-in. Out to the right-hand side. It's a bit of a loose touch there from Danny Green. Now, where was that touch when he was putting that purr of a crossing onto McCoy's head 46 seconds into the second half? Dear me. Went to control it, and it just looped up and over his head and out for a throw-in, and he fell over at the same time. Bit of shirt tugging. Ref spots. Free kick to Luton, just inside the Carlisle half, and well, Luton leading by 2-1. If you went and put the kettle on at half-time and you weren't back for the start of the second half, you probably missed McCoy scoring. And once again, Carlisle trail, and once again they have to come from behind, which is a real shame, because I suspect if they could have kept Luton to 1, Carlisle would have won this game. Now all of a sudden you need something big to get yourself a point. Ball up to the area. Gillespie comes at full stretch and takes it. Very keenly watched the flight of the ball. Asamoah battling for it at the back, and almost a slip up there that allows Carlisle to get onto the ball. It has done. Kennedy gets it, edge of the penalty area. Asamoah feeds it inside to Joyce. Oh, the pass wasn't on. If he'd have got it right there for Joyce, he could have run on and hit that. Now it's Smith breaking the other way for Luton. Played out to the right-hand side. Green on the ball. Comes in from the right wing, then gives it to Alex Lawless coming forwards. Up towards Marriott on the edge of the area. Carlisle intercepts and Kennedy gives it into Erie. Let's see something good from you, Bastian. Looking forwards, trying to pick out a teammate. Didn't quite get it to Wyke, who turned in frustration, but to be honest there, I think Cuthbert just won the battle against Wyke.
Yeah, he has. He's done really well today.
Don't want to blame Erie for everything that goes. Yeah. And I do want to see Erie make a difference here. Really do.
He's got great feet, his vision, he's got great vision as well, but he's just given the possession away a little bit too many times.
Certainly is, and that will concern Keith Curl. As I say, he's already dragged him once, and you really don't want to see that happen again. It's in the first half as well, as the pertinent part of what I mean there. That's a poor tackle from Danny Granger, and the referee has given it. I think he's a moment to think about it. He's given the free kick. Now, the Carlisle players are saying, well, hang on, what are you just going on what the fans said there? Danny Granger came in, the referee had a long look and a long think. The linesman didn't flag. I think the Carlisle players are saying that it was the Luton man who had his studs raised. Danny Granger says, what? I won the ball. The Luton man's down. The referee took an age before blowing. Now he wants a word with the United captain. Is it just going to be a calm down? Granger can't believe, he's really angry as he's talking to the referee, and he gets a yellow card. Well, that was bizarre, wasn't it?
The referee took at least 5 seconds before he made the decision.
I don't mind that if referees take their time and get it right, but I'm not sure he really knows what happened there. I think he's sort of just gone off what the fans said. You know, a big cheer from the fans. It took so long.
There wasn't even an advantage to be played because it went straight back to Carlisle, so I'm not quite sure why it took so long.
Yeah, not convinced by that one, referee. It'll be Luton to lift it forwards to the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. 55th minute. We've had 10 minutes of the second half now. Carlisle trail by the odd goal in 3. Over the top, Asamoah gives chase. Not working just yet, but the break almost falling, and now he gets onto it. Gives it infield to Kennedy. Bit of space for Jason Kennedy to work in. Goes out right-hand side looking for Miller. A bit too much on that one. Not sure Miller will get there. He won't. It's a goal kick to Luton. He's quick, but he's not that quick. Holman's got his second of the game for Woking, who leads 3-0 now against Tranmere. Portsmouth have scored twice quickly at the start of the second half and lead York 2-0. Davies and McNulty with the goals. And it's 2-0 up at York. Barcelona have a fourth, Gerard Piqué. He's rubbish at life, isn't he? Legendary Barcelona defender, a World Cup winning defender.
And a superstar wife.
And married to Shakira. He's rubbish at life, Gerard Piqué. Throw in to the right of the Carlisle penalty area, taken by Luton. Danny Green almost away from Erie. Now might just have the crossing opportunity. Now he's brought him down. Now I have sympathy here. I think it'll be a yellow card for Bastianelli, and if they cross in here, Bastianelli will be berated. But if they score from this, however, I think he was going into a shooting position there, and I think that he had to take the yellow and take him down there, didn't he? Did he?
Yeah.
Well, you know better than me.
Yeah.
Feel free to call it if I'm wrong. I often am. Chris Lumsden doesn't hold back. It just seemed to be going into the area there.
Yeah, he got wrong side. It was a tough one.
I mean, how we're supposed to see this? I'm stretching to the length of the leads on our kit here.
I think we can see why nobody takes these seats.
Yeah, you can see why they're all free. No wonder we were allowed to spread out. So Luton free kick, drilled in towards the near post, picked up again by Green, takes a deflection and drops in! Oh, that's so unfortunate for Carlisle United. The first free kick was absolute rubbish. The second, the follow-up, just looped off a Carlisle player. Mark Gillespie beaten all the way and it drops in, and Carlisle have conceded a third. And once again, it's a tough night for Bastianelli. He got the wrong side of his man, he had to take him down, he takes a yellow, and he's had a hand in presenting both goals now in this second half to Luton. A huge fortune about that one though for the Hatters. And it's Luton 3, Carlisle 1 in the 57th minute.
Yeah, very disappointing. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate.
And Green with the goal for Luton on that free kick. Oh dear me. What a joke of a goal.
Yeah,
First free kick was terrible, and he just had it thrashed at the second. That was no better. Hit a leg and just looped up, and you could just see the fans started to cheer, didn't they, behind
Before
that goal? They
it
knew it was going in because Gillespie was down, he'd gone the other way. No chance, huge deflection. Oh well. Maybe they should have kept Keith Gill hanging on, eh? Give the manager the complacency of his 2.5-year deal.
Yeah.
Of course I jest. A rotten look down on Carlisle United. But there's no doubt they've played their own part in it, Carlisle. Let's see if they've got something big about them now to try and get back into this game. They're down by 2 goals as Rains thighs it inside to Ellis. Gives it back out right-hand side to Atkinson. Round the corner to Kennedy. Miller buffeted off the ball by an aggressive Griffiths. He thinks it was a foul. Ref doesn't agree. Thrown to Luton. On halfway. 2-goal margin with 32 minutes to go, Teen Walling.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
It's a very big ask. It's a very big ask. We can get back into the game. We did it in the first half. All we need is 1 goal to change this game again.
Going into the playoffs now looks a distant memory, but if they can get one in the next 10 or 15 minutes, you wouldn't bank against them. Square ball across defence. Ellis has got to be careful. That's a good ball around the corner to Bastianelli. He turns it back inside to Joyce. That was clever from the Frenchman. Joyce now just short of forward options. Miller was in space on the right. Joyce clips it in search of Erie. Not a good touch, but actually the defensive header was poor. Deflection on the cross. Might just fall on the edge of the area to White. Carlisle fans feel that White was pulled down in the area there. Dean Walling saw that too, but the referee didn't feel enough contact. Now Green bringing it forwards for Luton. Pirouettes and then gives it right-hand side to Alex Lawless. Bastianelli's got to be careful he doesn't lunge in on his man, and thankfully he didn't. Now on a yellow card, of course. Granger's going to look to lift this one forwards for the run of Derek Asamoah. Griffith controls it on his chest and sends it left-hand side. Good play, actually. Picks out McGeechan. Gets it back on the give and go from Smith in the midfield. Luton just stringing a few passes together, all of a sudden playing a bit more. Now they have their 2-goal cushion. Lee wants it back, gets it, gives it on to McGeechan. Back out to right back, Lawless on this near side. The passes are getting allayed. Oliver Lee round the corner. They're going through Carlisle United at the moment. They're getting allayed, but they're finding the way through. Lee square again to Smith. Luton fans olaying their passes. Well, there's the nutmeg, there's the shot that goes to the throw-in, and there's the opposition fans olaying as they complete pass after pass against you.
And sometimes that's what you've got to do to break it up. As a midfield player, give away a foul.
Flatten someone.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Disappointing start, you know. 46 seconds, after we've got ourselves back into the game, after a disappointing start in the first half, and then to go 3-1 down.
Bit deflating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Rovers 1, Stevenage 2. Whelpdale gives Stevenage the lead again in that one. Lionel Messi has made it Barcelona 5, Roma 0. And Porto 0, Dinamo Kiev 2. Ball up towards the edge of the area for Luton. Kennedy with the clearing header for Carlisle, only finds the middle of the half. Picks up the second ball though, Kennedy, as well to dig it out as he was being closed down, but Luton get it back. Suddenly everything going right for them. Atkinson under a bit of pressure, manages to clear. Does well up towards Asamoah, and he did well to make a fist of that with the defender, but Luton do get back on the ball with Lawless, likes to play. Migrated back to right back, more of a winger. McGeechin trying to keep it alive on that far side for Luton. Fends off Kennedy. Miller can't get close enough as Griffith comes in to help out. Back into defence from Cuthbert, all the way through to goalkeeper Tyler. Whacks it forwards. Crawley 1, Northampton 2. Walton with the goal back for Crawley. Portsmouth through McNulty now 3-0 up in their match. That should be lifting them up the table. The table's not actually reset since half time that you're looking at there, Dino. I'll have to refresh that in a moment. The video printer's working though.
Yeah.
We're watching updates on the BBC Sport website. All the other avenues we normally try through haven't worked. Not enough Wi-Fi, etc. That's the way we bring you the goals in games like this. Flick on from Rains up towards the edge of the area. Almost fell to White. Luton will clear. Erie trying to close it down. Danny Granger's got to be careful. Did well. Marriott was in if he had got that wrong, but he didn't. Square it goes from Joyce to Atkinson. He lifts it forwards. Looking for the flick on here, maybe from White. Looking for... Oh, that's a shove. So silly. Sort of hicked into Cuthbert. Made it so obvious for the ref. I mean, we saw it. He saw it. They saw it. The refs saw it. The fans saw it. People in Cumbria saw it. Even Arsene Wenger saw it, apparently. Incidentally, Arsenal 2-0 up against Dinamo Zagreb at the Emirates in the Champions League tonight. Chelsea 1 up in Israel against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Playing against 10 men as well there. Still a bit unconvincing from Chelsea, but they hang on in there for the 3 points. That will please Jose Mourinho. Flick on down the far touchline for Luton. Game's plateauing a little here. 63rd minute. Luton will be happy to try and get a breather here.
Double substitutions.
Big changes now coming for Carlisle. It looks like Gilead and Ibarre coming on. So coming off is Bastianeri. That's perhaps no surprise for Alex Gilead.
Carlisle replacing number 10, Sebastian Herring, is 17, Alex Gilead.
And Tom Miller is the man off for
and second substitution
Jabo Ibarre. So big throw the dice now for Keith Curl.
14,
Just to fill you in on the picture. Oh, dear me, Jabo Ibarre. That's the quite the worst pronunciation I've ever heard for Jabo Ibarre. We all used to mispronounce Ibarre wrong. We used to say Ibarre. That's what football clubs told us. MK Don certainly told me it was pronounced can't remember which is the wrong one now.
Has he told you the right one?
He's told me it's Ibarre, but Jabo, who would see Jabo and think Jabo? Oh well. Arsenal are now 3-0 up in the Champions League. Alexis Sanchez, second goal of the game. Or as Guy Randers would call him, Alexis Sanchu. Down the right-hand side, good turn from Atkinson on halfway for Carlisle. Clip forwards. Ibarre trying to fend off Cuthbert, but can't. Cuthbert's had a good start to this second half after he allowed White to get beyond him for the Carlisle equaliser just before half-time. Confirmation of that goal coming up in front of us. So now Sheffield United 2, Shrewsbury 4. Hammond with the goal back for the U's. On the left-hand side, McGeechin trying to battle away from 3 Carlisle players. In the end, Kennedy manages to come over and take it away from him. Good take from White there under pressure, but he controlled it straight out of play. That was unlucky because he fended off Griffith, brought it down instantly, but actually brought it down out of play. Harsh. Kenilworth Road's gone awfully quiet, I have to say, Dean Walling.
Yeah, funny you should say that. I was speaking to somebody down in the press box earlier on. They said it was really quiet here tonight. The atmosphere was really, really, really dead tonight.
I just wonder if they've let a few leads slip. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats here at Kenilworth Road. Goal difference is +2 here. Carlisle's is -3 on the road, -1 overall. Little hook down the line is actually wound up, keeping the ball in play here for Luton, and they're up towards the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. Marriott with a lovely turn, but it should break through to Mark Gillespie, and does. And in the end the danger goes, but kept alive there by some really clever play down that left-hand side for Luton. 7,298 the attendance here at Kenilworth Road, including 169 making the trip from Carlisle, and good defending again from Luton. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. 169 Carlisle fans making this trip on a Tuesday night. A marvellous effort as ever. To the left-hand side, Derek Asamoah trying to get Carlisle going. Jabo Ibre fends off his man there. Gets it back on the left with Danny Granger inside to Joyce, who looks to just bang on into the area in search of Wyke, who's being held as he goes through there. It might break here for Gilead. Must score, does score! It's 3-2. Good play there from Ibre and Wyke. Asamoah in amongst the troublemakers too. It fell to Gilead. He turns on a sixpence, reminiscent of what we've been talking about tonight, and lashes it into the bottom corner. And Carlisle breathe again. 66th minute. Luton 3, Carlisle 2.
Game on.
Very much on.
Yeah, great bit of play there. Great bit of play from, great hold-up play from Jabo. Great turn and great finish. Absolutely great turn, great finish.
Dino's being ironic with his Jabo, by the way. I know. He's just got such a physical presence, hasn't he, though, Big Jabo? Yeah. He's an awesome specimen of a man, to be quite honest. And he's the friendliest. He's a classic gentle giant, is Ibre. But when you put him up against a defender, he gives him a rough time. Yeah. I've not seen one come off better yet. Atkinson with a very cultured head back there. It's got to be a 50-60 yard ball there coming over his shoulder. He's got a man behind him, a man running on beyond him, and he still has the composure to nod it back to Gillespie. Is that good play, or is that a bit risky for you?
That's great play. It's great play. Good confident play. You know, confidence in yourself. Yeah, just nod it back to the keeper.
It's Gilead with another professional goal for Carlisle on this loan from Newcastle. That's the left-hand side where Asamoah is pulled out now, following the introduction of Ibre and Gilead. Asamoah and Ibre linking up. Joyce will get back on the loose pass. He'll lift it up towards the edge of the area. Bit short to support here, so cleverly slots it inside to Rains. He's got to be careful where he goes with this pass. Gives it to Atkinson. He's got a man right on him, and he makes the right decision and goes back towards goalkeeper Mark Gillespie. Introduction working. Ibre having a hand in setting up the goal for Gilead, although Asamoah and White played big parts too. So you can certainly say a hand of manager Keith Curl in that change of scoreline with his change of personnel. Joyce left-hand side here to Granger. Suddenly Luton look nervy. Granger lifts it in, wants the handball, and he gets it. Green now, if that's, it's got to be a yellow card. Yeah, I thought so. Yellow out for Danny Green. He said it's accidental. If you're going to give the free kick,
lifted his hand up. So.
Yeah, put a hand up and block the cross. Now should Danny Granger take this on, and he's right. It's to the left of goal. It's about equidistant really between the left-hand side of the penalty area and the near side of the D. Should Granger have a go on his right? It's about from whence he scored that ripper of a goal against Portsmouth on Saturday. He will, of course, take it on his left. He'll lift it in, I suspect, behind where the players are lined up, and hope somebody can run onto it for Carlisle. Either that, or he'll whack it. He's lining it up for a left-footed go. What will he take on? Danny Granger for Carlisle United. Lifts it in towards the back post. Headed towards goal by Ibre. Drops just over the roof of the net. Goal kick. And it's still Luton 3, Carlisle 2. The goals. United went behind through Marriott's goal in the 4th minute of the match. White got in to equalise just a minute before half-time. And just when you thought they might really go at it and try and get things going again in this second half, they allowed McCoy in to make it 2-1 in the 46th minute. And just before the hour mark, Green, with tremendous amount of luck, completely mishit his free kick. Then didn't really catch the follow-up very well, but it deflected and looped beyond Gillespie and made it 3-1. But Gilead has got United back into this as Luton look to break down the right-hand side and they get themselves a throw-in. And we're all tucked up in bed this evening, Dean Walling, at our hotel before heading our separate ways in the morning. Are we going to be talking about a famous Carlisle win here?
Well, I tell you what, I'll be happy with the draw, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with the draw.
Of course we will. We're not on for that at the moment, are we?
Yeah. Substitution for Luton.
Marriott's coming off for Luton, and he'll be replaced by, sounds to me like the guy on the PA doesn't know either. Board went up.
Is number 22, Craig Smith.
Oh dear, this is trouble for Carlisle United. Mikhail Smith coming off.
Yeah, I've seen Craig Mikhail Smith play Peterborough a few times.
Yeah.
I do Peterborough against Proctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Peterborough.
Good movement. Yeah, it doesn't give you a minute. You know, he closes down. He chases lost causes.
I gather.
Good player.
Yeah, very good. He and Aaron McLean were an excellent partnership when
pair,
Peterborough
great pair they were.
Went to Brighton with a lot of hope for him. Oh dear me, that was a bit of a late tackle from Joyce there. But, thankfully the ref didn't spot that one. Luton trying to get things going on the right-hand side here, coming at Carlisle United once again on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, but United managed to intercept. 3-2 down Carlisle. White gets on the ball, good touch, looking to turn it right-hand side for Gilead. Now Griffiths won't know what he's facing here as Gilead runs at him. Great pace, 12 on 12. Gilead takes it towards the corner flag. The defender's all over him. What's he got about him as he takes it tight to the byline?
It's a great battle between them two. The fullback's done really well.
He's a good player, isn't he, Griffiths? You have to say. He's 29, and against Gilead he must be fearing for himself, but he's got real determination and he kept up well with him there, to be fair to him. Kingsley, oh hang on, shot coming in for Granger, goalkeeper spills to Ibrahim's offside. Flag goes up, free kick. Carlisle think they've equalised, they haven't. Granger wrapped the shot in, the goalkeeper spilt it. Ibrahim was Johnny on the spot, but so too was the linesman on the far side. And well, United have momentarily equalised there. But as we go into the 72nd minute now, it's still 3-2 to Luton, and the fans once again trying to G up their players here. You just sense Carlisle have the upper hand once again in this match, even if Luton have the upper score.
It's going exactly the same as the first half, going exactly the same way.
Clip forwards, right-hand side, looking for Mikhail Smith. I just wonder if he's still got quite the energy to burn past his men like he used to, as he takes it towards goal, and Rains under a bit of pressure from McCoy, had to prod that behind. He was hoping he could control it and get it to his goalkeeper there, but in the end he had to tuck it behind for a rather sloppy corner to Luton Town on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. All the directors sat just to my right here, the owners, various members of the coaching staff and associate directors, etc., watching on here and hoping Carlisle can fend off this Luton attack. Friends and family as well of a few of the players are up around us. Here comes that Luton corner in towards the near post, headed across the face of goal. Carlisle shouldn't do clear through Joyce. Now Asamoah's giving chase here, but it's bashed productively back up towards the edge of the Carlisle penalty area by Luton. Rains heads it clear as it comes down with snow on it. Back onto it, Ellis heads it clear again, gives Gilead something to chase. He won't get that. And it's a throw in on halfway left-hand side to Luton Town. Into the last 15 minutes, 16 actually, with Luton leading United 3-2. Joyce makes a good tackle, felt he was fouled, gets back up, bet that one hurt, he fell on his coccyx, they always sting a bit, don't they? Yep. Kennedy trying to get the ball in midfield, Joyce nods it forwards, Ibrahim will get this down on the chest. What a great layoff to Charlie White. Can he prod it in search of Asamoah? Not quite, but Asamoah comes and wins it off his man. Did well there, the Ghanaian. Joyce gives it inside, or gets it inside from Granger, then smashes it right hand side looking for the run of Gilead. Defender Griffith lets it bounce, and that will get away from both he and Gilead, and out to play for a goal kick to Luton. Gilead has such a threat down that right. Asamoah on the left, White and Ibrahim.
Gilead's got good pace, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
It's pace to burn.
Yeah, really has. All sorts of threats here for Carlisle. Can they make it happen here? With Miller off, by the way, Atkinson's gone to right back. It's Rains and Ellis centre halves, Granger left back, Asamoah on the left wing, Gilead on the right, and then it's Joyce and Kennedy centre mids. I mean, it's basically 4-2-4, isn't it? 4-2-4. Because Asamoah's he's no left midfielder, is he? Good old Derek. He's not going to dog in and help out Danny Granger too much. He's playing right up on the shoulder of the last defender.
He's not going to track back.
It's not in his makeup, I don't think. Ibrahim trying to win the flick up there, but Cuthbert's good in the air. Loose touch from Kennedy. Atkinson can't win it back. McCoy keeps it alive for Luton, crossing into the Carlisle half, down the left-hand side for Mikhail Smith. Carlisle want the offside against the former Brighton and Peterborough man. Edge of the area, Luton have the ball. Oliver Lee thinking about the shot, gives it right hand side, Green crosses, deflects and gets a corner for Luton. Going to the 76th minute now on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Luton once again with a corner at that Carlisle end. More work for United to do. You suspect if Luton re-establish a 2-goal lead, that will be it tonight for Carlisle. But can the Cumbrians keep them at bay and find a way to equalise here? Will it be last gasp again as it was against Portsmouth on Saturday? Here comes the ball in at the near post. Off the Luton man. Asamoah has to be careful not to tag his man. Green gets the cross back in towards goal at the near post, right across the face of everyone. Mikael Smith will get out the far side and get to the loose ball first. It's actually McGeechan, and has he fouled his man? No, and is it a throw-in? Carlisle can't believe they've not got a free kick on that fell side. Luton take the throw-in. Well, Carlisle protest, back heel, back down the line. McGeechan will have time and space to put the cross in on his right foot. Takes too much time. Lee will then try and line something up with Mikael Smith on the left-hand side. I'll tell you what, McGeechan and Mikael Smith are hard to tell apart. Luton trying to pass it into the Carlisle penalty area. They're massing here, Luton. I think they sense that they might get something in this moment and kill off this game. Still coming forwards, a stray pass from Luton, but they still have the ball, looking for the right-hand side. Kennedy closing his man down well. United showing a good shape here, and in the end they forced Luton out to play for a Carlisle throw-in. Good defensive work that Dean Walling, I have no doubt, will have enjoyed.
Yeah, good bit of work, nice and patient, didn't dive in. They did really well, pushed them back.
Really did. Barcelona have a 6th, and fullback Adriano has got this one in the Champions League. Chelsea have scored a couple of quick goals. Willian in the 72nd, and then Oscar in the 76th, and they lead 3-0 now against Maccabi Tel Aviv in the Champions League. Ball over the top for Carlisle. Cuthbert heads clear for Luton. Back over the top, United go. White looking to make a nuisance of it against his man. Bit of a heavy touch. Kennedy picks it up though, right hand side. Gilead one-on-one against Griffith. He does have the skill to go past one or two man, Gilead. Down to the byline he goes. Griffith is good, and he takes the ball away from Alex Gilead. His clearance though, charged down by Kennedy. Gilead has it, back round the corner to Kennedy. A clever pass, Kennedy gives it on to Luke Joyce. Swept in towards goal, deflects. And will it go behind for a corner? Yes. 78th minute we're into just. That was good play there. Bit of luck for Carlisle. Unfortunately, their luck didn't wind up in the back of the Luton net, as Luton's 3rd did against them when Green's free kick deflected over Gillespie and into the back of the Carlisle net. Still time though for United. 12 minutes plus stoppages to go. Taking this corner, Granger, edge of the area, not a good one. Joyce goes and retrieves it. Closed down by Green of Luton. Gillespie up towards near halfway, lifts it forwards. Has to retreat quickly back to his goal. Cuthbert can't win the header against Rains. Asamoah picks it up on the edge of the area. Might fancy winding up the shot. Couple of step overs don't quite fool the man tight to him. Gilead trying to give him options. Running right hand side now. Closed down all the way by Jonathan Smith. Turns to face him. Has support coming in from Atkinson down the right hand side. Gilead goes past him. Gets the cross in. Flicks for Ibarre! Yes! And he equalises for Carlisle United! That will feel so good for Chabaret. Out since the early part of August. Couldn't find the back of the net on Saturday against Portsmouth, but equalises in the 78th minute for Carlisle United. Good play down the right by Gilead. Jabo Ibarre there for Carlisle United, and the Cumbrians level at Luton after being 2 goals down, and with more than 10 minutes to go, Dean Walling.
I tell you, we can go and win this. We can go and win this. Fantastic play by Gilead down the right hand side. Got great crossing.
I've got a combination of Luton directors and Carlisle directors around me. One set looked delighted, one set wished that I'd shut up, I think. We don't care. We're not here to make friends at Luton. We're here to bring you the latest on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. And Carlisle have pulled level against Luton. And who would bet against them now? Here they come with Gilead, over halfway, straight off the Luton centre. Kennedy sweeps it to Asamoah on this left-hand side. Not even had a chance to write down the equaliser yet. Asamoah into the area, dancing one way, then... Carlisle the lead! Brilliant from Derek Asamoah! Dances inside his man! The equaliser in the 78th! In the 80th, Asamoah gives them the lead! Will this be one of those nights? Luton 3, Carlisle 4!
I can't speak.
What else can happen tonight? Can Carlisle go on and rout Luton now? Will Luton have more say? Still got 11 minutes to go. Now the time to be composed for Carlisle United. Brilliant stuff from Asamoah, but you have to say bringing Ibery and Gilead on, showing that bravery at 3-1 down and putting 2 forwards on for a defender and a midfielder, has reaped huge rewards for Keith Curle and Carlisle United.
Can we just keep our composure now, and see this game out, or do we go for another goal? Do we go for another goal?
I can't remember what time the BBC Radio Cumbria car is booked back in tomorrow, by the way. But can somebody push back the time? If Carlisle win here tonight, Dino and I are going to be in the bar until about 3 a.m. and we might be late home tomorrow. Absolutely unbelievable for Carlisle United. They lead 4-3 at Luton. It feels ridiculous coming out of my mouth. Ellis clears forwards. Ibery after it. Absolutely poleaxed by the defender and gets the free kick. Middle of the Luton half. And then just over to this left-hand side. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. What drama from Carlisle United. And there are a few fans around here I think have had enough. Decided that it's not going to come back Luton's way. And they're off.
Wow.
Up the Football League we go. E-I-E-I-O. The Carlisle fans behind the goal as Granger lifts it into the area. Rains gets up, heads down. This one evades Ibery, and goalkeeper Tyler comes out and claims for Luton Town, who were 1-0 up and got pegged back. We're 2-1 up, we're 3-1 up and are pegged back, and United lead 4-3 here. But here come Luton again. Smith trying to force the issue, hopelessly over ambitious, off balance, spinning on his weaker left foot, and just skies the effort on goal, and a goal kick to Carlisle. 82nd minute. If you are listening to us on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports in Cumbria or around the world, can you believe this tonight here at Kenilworth Road? Carlisle United haven't won against Luton since 2008. March of that year, Chris Lumsden and the team, Danny Lucy and Peter Murphy, a couple of heroes scoring that day for the Cumbrians. Well, what about this? White, Gilead, Ibery, Asamoah. What a night this would be if they can hang on in there. If there's no further scoring now, this would be one of the great nights for Carlisle United. Over the top go the Cumbrians. Off the Gillespie clearance, but here they come down the left-hand side. Substitution, by the way. Did you see who came on there, Dino? Just trying to pick out. I think it might have been Curtly Williams coming on for Cameron McGeechan.
I think it's Paddy McCaw.
Paddy McCaw who's come on, the number 15, right. Thank you for that, Dino.
Yeah, well, for McGeehan. Call for McGeehan.
That's right. McGeechan off. McCaw on. He's a good player. It's not done yet, this, Carlisle fans. 83rd minute. Luton now looking to have a say again. Ball over the top. Granger watching it carefully. Green lets it slide under his foot, and it's a tame throw-in. Oh, dear me. Well, we've got Luton fans, Carlisle fans, Luton directors, Carlisle directors all around us.
Westy.
Colin West enjoying this. This is Colin West's mob here along. Apparently I've not got to swear, he says, in front of his family who are alongside us. I probably won't, but you never know. Not the way this is going. Carlisle with a bit of defensive work to do here because Luton coming at them again. Charlie White digging in and trying to stop Lawless getting away down that right-hand side. He's running to a bit of a cul-de-sac. He puts the cross in, hoping for the deflection. He gets it. It's the Luton corner.
Okay, this is where we need to stay nice and strong now. Win our headers. Yeah, get the first head on.
84th minute. I'm sliding down this press box into space trying to see around this massive girder that feeds the TV gantry above our heads here in the main stand at Kenilworth Road. I'm just hoping nothing happens behind that pillar as the ball goes into the area. Ibery clears. Volley back in on goal from McCourt is repelled by Gilead. Back out the area left-hand side. McCourt feeds it down the line. Atkinson putting pressure on his man and winning the ball. Is he? Hasn't gone out to play. Yes, it has. It's a throw-in. Big battle there with Mikhail Smith. Won't be an easy one. Really
this is when we need to slow the game down now. Yeah, show a little bit of experience, the older players, yeah. Tell the younger players just to take the sting out of the game now.
Game management is what Keith Curle calls it. Another change coming here for Carlisle United. Who is this coming on? It's Anthony Sweeney coming on for Charlie White. That, if ever you needed one, is a let's calm it down and make sure we get this game won. Anthony Sweeney on for Charlie White, and Charlie White didn't do the old football thing of coming right over to this far side here. Carlisle just want to make sure there ain't too much stoppage time. 85th minute, Sweeney on to shore things up for Carlisle United. Well, I just hope Keith Curle's not up here talking about a gutsy draw rather than the win that Carlisle are on for right now. 4-3 up at Luton. Unbelievable stuff from the Cumbrians, but Luton not beaten yet. Coming forwards with Green, down the right-hand side. Gives it in field to McCourt. Clips a clever pass around the corner. Ellis trying to track the run of McCoy. Just clipped in towards goal. It's a poor pass. A very poor pass from McCourt. And it's easily dealt with by Gillespie, who falls to the turf. Off balance.
Really?
Wasting time.
Was he really off balance?
No, he was not. Into the 86th minute we go. I'll tell you what, I've got all these layers on, Dean. I'm getting hot now. Been warmed up by Carlisle United's performance.
Absolutely.
And it could get back onto the ball here with Sweeney. Luton hook it forwards, up towards halfway where Ellis sends it back. Asamoah's being held. It comes off the Luton man. Asamoah should be able to jockey this with a throw in and gets it just to the left of the Luton penalty area. Did Carlisle press here, Dino, and try and get the fifth? And
I think there's a mixture of both things. We've got to press, try and get a fifth, but also just keep that back door shut.
What about this, by the way? Portsmouth now 6-0 up
in
their match against York. It was 0-0 at half-time. That is incredible. Down the left-hand side, Carlisle looking to try and get at Luton. Danny Granger under a bit of pressure there. Joyce just pods it down the line, and I think Sweeney's offside. I'm not entirely sure about that one. Currently, the side in blue in front of us are in the playoffs. Currently, plenty of time to go. Nothing assumed. No, I'm just letting you know. 86th minute. Luton 3, Carlisle 4. Drilled clearance from United. Still a fair bit of time. Stoppage-wise, there'll be 3 or 4 minutes minimum, you'd have thought. Bit of pressure there on Cuthbert, but he manages to clear it as Gilead closed him down. Luton coming forwards down the left with Griffiths. Atkinson just cleverly into the back of his man, puts him off balance, but Luton do well to hang on to the ball. Very rather lunged in at his man there. That could have been awkward. Out to the right-hand side, and Lawless coming over to meet him, though. Sweeney. Granger intercepts. Infield. Oh, be careful, Danny. Thought he was going to lunge in there, and that could have been in trouble. Ibarre dropping into the midfield to help out. Granger puts it round the corner. Asamoah's onside. He'll get this by the corner flag. Now, will men come up and help him, or will he stay by the corner flag? Nobody's really come over to help him. Ibarre comes out to the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he's got men in orange shirts all around him. Gives it in field to Luke Joyce. He pods it right-hand side here for David Atkinson. What will Carlisle do? Do they put it into the area? They do. After it's Sweeney, headed away by Luton. Picked up left-hand side by Asamoah. He's already danced in from a position like this and scored once. Tries to go down the left-hand side, puts the cross in, gets Carlisle the corner as we go into the 88th minute. They might have taken it in the corner and lost it, Dean, but they played and they get a corner.
Great bit of play. Great bit of play by Asamoah. He's got so much pace, nobody wants to defend against it. And it's hard to defend against it. And after 87 minutes of him running against you.
I know. That's why they often leave him out in the home games to try and make sure when they come away they can put him on teams. When United need an outlet, that is what Derek Asamoah provides. So I'm leaning in to see this corner flag. I'm in the way of everyone behind us in the director's box as the corner comes in, headed away by Luton. Rains the man trying to get there for Carlisle. Picked up left-hand side. We're heading into the 89th minute, but here come Luton from that corner. Carlisle might have thought about keeping it in the corner again there. Drilled forwards by Luton. Poor. Picked off by Joyce. Forwards to Kennedy. Right-hand side, Gilead. Oh, he's just gone too early and he's offside. It'll waste a bit more time. Arsenal have won 3-0 in the Champions League. Games are finishing tonight. Arsenal winning 3-0 against Dinamo Zagreb. But the ball forwards from Luton is poor and Carlisle have it. 89th minute, we are in it now. Will there be one final throw of the dice, one final twist in this game, or has the scoring finished? Will Carl head into the playoffs? You'll find out over the next few minutes here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. The next big thing to look out for, of course, is the red number from the fourth official on that far touchline in between the two dugouts. Still in one, and Curley's mysterious in the other. Taking their time. Carlisle to try and clear. Mikael Smith loses out to Atkinson. Cleared down the touchline, but it's a throw into Luton. Goes into the conservatories behind the dugouts there. Masquerade as executive boxers. Down the line. Cleared away by Carlisle again, but Luton send it back. Forwards by Atkinson, but out to play again. A throw in, middle of the Carlisle half. Left-hand side as Luton look to come forwards. We're into the 90th minute. Luton looking for the right option. Infield it comes. Joyce trying to close down his man. He's had a really good game, Luke Joyce.
He's had a great game.
Number of Carlisle players have really shone today. On the ball now, Luton forwards. Granger hasn't quite intercepted. Asamoah, will he get there ahead of his man? No, didn't quite commit to it. Danny Green's nearly fallen on the edge of the area. Kept alive, gives it down the line to Lawless. Whips an early cross in. Gillespie comes a long way, hasn't totally got it. Kennedy clears. A lot of pressure was under there, and he did well. Now Jabo Ibre's taking the ball down brilliantly. Can Sweeney get to this? No, it's brilliant ball, but then Joyce just couldn't quite find Sweeney on the left-hand side. It was a great touch from Ibre, but Joyce couldn't quite find Sweeney. Last 10 seconds, the fourth official's ball is up. There's a terrible ball forwards from Luton, and it's so easy for Gillespie, who takes it right out to the far back corner of his penalty area, draws in the man. 5 minutes time added on. 5 minutes of time added on for Carlisle United to traverse here. Strap yourselves in, as Derek Lacey would say. Fasten your seatbelts. 5 more minutes of agony for Carlisle United. 169 Carlisle fans here, many more of you around the world and in Cumbria in particular listening. Dense areas of radios switched on and people biting nails. Can Carlisle hang on in there for a famous victory here at Luton on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport? McCaw, bearded like a Mumford & Son, coming forwards. Carlisle tidy it up as he looks to pass one into the area. Everyone behind the ball for Carlisle. Clearance from Atkinson there is a little miscued, and it allows Cuthbert to get onto it. Under pressure from Gilead, he goes back through to goalkeeper Tyler. 1 minute of the 5 down. Chelsea have won 4-0 in the Champions League in their match away at Maccabi Tel Aviv, who had a man sent off. Joyce's header has gone through to goalkeeper Gillespie, and suddenly things are falling in Carlisle's favour. When you consider the deflected goal that put Luton 3-1 up, you were thinking it wasn't a night of luck for Carlisle, but that one there miscues off Joyce's head and carries through to United's goalkeeper. Ball goes up into the floodlights and the night sky. Over the top United go, but Luton pick it back up on that left hand side with Griffiths. Carlisle think that he took it out of play. The officials in the home side's favour. Thrown back inside to McCaw. Tries to skip away from Kennedy. Hasn't quite got the legs to leave him for dead. So feeds it back into defence with Cuthbert. Square it comes to O'Brien, the Irishman. Looking forwards, surveying his options. Just slices it forwards, hoping that Rains won't dominate and clear, which is exactly what he does. Ibre can't win the ball forwards though. Atkinson heads up rather than away. I think it's Sweeney actually dropping in as Carlisle have gone to a back five. I think Sweeney's gone over to the right hand side, and Carlisle have just got the bodies in there, but a free kick's been given against Luke Joyce in a tangle with Josh McCoy, middle of the Carlisle half. Asamoah's just been manfully shoved off the ball there by Alex Lawless. Came and had the ball in his hand and he's just shoved him off the ball, fallen awkwardly. Boos from the Luton fans who think he's milking it, but that was not particularly pretty there from Alex Lawless.
He was lucky. He was lucky there.
Yeah, lucky the officials didn't see that. And he'll have a word or two with Lawless after the game. Now it's a free kick, middle of the Carlisle half. They'll put this in the area and hope something breaks. Will Luton. 93rd minute. It's going to be a shot actually. Drill, Gillespie turns it round the post. Nearly caught him out. Must have seen it late. Sprawling to his right. He turned it behind and it's a Luton corner. Nearly at the end of the third of 5 minutes, time added on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Corner taken short on that far side, looking to try and get the angle for the cross, trying to take the man on, gets to the byline, into the middle. Carlisle turn it away, further away by Gilead. Can he stop the corner? Yes, and then clears it forward. In fact, no, he hasn't bought the goal kick. It's slid back into play. Carlisle get onto it here with Asamoah. Tries to nutmeg his man and take him down the outside. Does so. Now the break could be on down the middle for Sweeney. He's gone offside. Flag can't go up because it got nowhere near him. Kennedy gives it square to Ellis, breaking forwards down the left-hand side. Good pace as well from Ellis. Takes it towards the corner flag. Turns it around the corner and winds up giving it straight to the goalkeeper.
Just run into the corner.
Yeah, should have run into the corner there, but I don't think he fancied himself to keep the ball away from the Luton men. In the last 90 seconds now, the goal kick, a rolling ball for the second time there, and the officials spotted the first but then turned away from the second. Lawless down the line. Granger's going to come over and surely boss his man here. Ball back with United. Granger wins it. Looking right hand side on his right foot, trying to thread the through ball through to Asamoah there, and that was more of a swinger. 70 seconds to go. Carlisle lead 4-3 at Luton if you're just joining us. They trailed 1-0. They trailed 3-1. They lead 4-3. Joyce sidesteps his man, driving down the middle. Great run from Luke Joyce. Has Ibare to the left, Asamoah to the right, releases Asamoah, angles tight, defender got there and turns it behind. And you just wondered if it was going to be the champagne finish there. 45 seconds to go.
I think I know what I'll do with this corner. I think I'll know what I'll do with this corner. Are we going to take a short corner?
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope so.
I think you take a short corner,
I
surely.
think
Surely the short corner. Well, what a night to be a Carlisle United fan. Such a joy covering your football club at the moment. It really is. Keith Curle's contract sorted. It would seem the football is doing well at the moment. By the corner flag, Carlisle have it still with Gilead. Comes inside, turns back out, gives it back to Ibare. 10 seconds to go. And then we're at the absolute mercy of the ref. Ibare fending his man off on that left-hand side. Step over, keeps it, then loses it. Luton clear. Do they? No, the referee spotted a trip. It is a trip. It is a free kick to Luton. Ibare, is he going to go into the book here for... No, the referee's just going to allow play to go on, or is he going to pull out the card? No, he's just going to play on. Last gasp ball forwards now with 10 seconds over to 5 minutes time added on. Breaks to Mackael Smith in the middle of the Carlisle half. Luton throwing men forwards in a last gasp effort to try and find an equaliser. McCoy's cross into the middle, beyond everyone, and it goes for the corner. It's the goal kick. And surely just blow up ref. Surely we don't need to take the goal kick.
That's the last action, hopefully.
Surely we do not need the goal kick, ref. Listen to that. They sense that this is it. Fans streaming out of Kenilworth Road around us. The 169 from Cumbria to our left. Cry out United. Gillespie urged to get on with the goal kick, sends it forwards. All eyes on the referee. If you up in the director's box to my right in Carlisle colours, the ref's not done yet. Forwards it goes. Ibare brings it down. Great control. Carlisle United win at Luton. The Luton fans boo. The Carlisle fans sing. The Carlisle board look absolutely delighted. Fist pumping from the West Clan who are here. From Stephen Pattison, from Andrew Jenkins, from John Nixon. I can see David Dent in there. Also Colin West was in there watching that. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. It's a red letter day for the Cumbrians. They announced their manager will be with them through until 2018. And the end of that season. He seems happy as well, says it's just the final legal bits to sort out in that contract. And Carlisle twice come from behind, at one point 2 goals down, to win 4-3 at Luton. They're in the playoffs. The goal difference is back at 0. They're out of negative goal difference. They're 7 points off the automatic promotion places for those of interest. What a night.
Absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed every single second of that game. Every single second of that game. Every game I've seen this season, we've played absolutely fantastic. Yeah, battled hard, got back into the game, defended the lead. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Earlier on, I said about you, things seem to go well when Dino's here. At 3-1 down, I was thinking, well, that's scotched that.
Well, I did say one goal.
You wouldn't bank against him, and they did. And this is the thing, you actually do believe that. You don't say that and think they never will. I'm going to say it because I want to look good to the Carlisle fans that I'm being positive. You say it and believe it.
Absolutely.
You absolutely believe that 3-1 they could still get something.
In the first half we had 3 or 4 great chances. 3 or 4 great chances.
Well, BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, it's been a real pleasure to bring you this game. I'm looking at that big sign now to our left. It says, welcome to Kenilworth Road, Luton Town Football Club. Hatters 3, visitors 4, and time is up on this match. Colin West gets a big hug off Michael Rains in front of us. 16 minutes until 10 o'clock. I do hope Keith Curle can make it up quick to us to rejoice in this game. All the players been right over there, not just up to the edge of the penalty area, but right over on the advertising hoardings. There've been hugs and shirts and autographs and the like over there. It's great to see players enjoying playing for the club and fans enjoying them doing so, Dean Warning. There's a real unity there, and I'm so glad that everyone seems to be together on it. Keith Curle pumping his fist towards the directors in front of us. Everyone can just be happy on days like this.
Yeah, they're fantastic days. How often do you come back from 2 goals down and win a game? These are the days that you've got to remember.
The ever astute Chris Lumsden said on Luton, getting that point when they were so outplayed by Luton on Saturday, these are the sort of games, he said it reminds me a little bit of when we won the League 2 title. These are the games when you really don't play well, but you manage to still pick up something, and then it sets Carl up to come up down to Luton, and then do this. A terrific performance, actually.
Yeah, fantastic performance. Every single player that played today, wore the heart on the sleeves today. It's still at 3-1 down. Even me and you was thinking, we can still win this game. We can still win this game.
And as I told you, that means Carlisle are in the playoffs, a point clear of 8th place Mansfield. Keith Curl, you must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I've got to say we had a game plan that went out the window in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the first half, being 1-0 down. Climbed the mountain to get back to 1-1, even though I thought the latter stages of the first half we were the dominant side. We worked out that, and it was quite simple, quite basic. We every time Margaret Rains went in their box, he caused havoc, and all we needed to do was have quality balls in there, gambling off of him, and we sussed out a weakness straight there through the heart of their defence. And then we go into the second half and say, look, more of the same. We got up the tempo and earn the right to play at the right times. And within 2 minutes of that goes out the window. We're 2-1 down because we haven't stuck to our game plan, which was basically put the ball in and around their final third, because we thought they were jittery and they were nervous in the so that was disappointing, because you're thinking, well, we've got to start games better in the first half and in the second half. Yeah, we do want to play football, but we've got to earn the right, and it's something I keep on saying, so perhaps I might need to reiterate it day in, day out. There's areas at the pitch in the first minutes of games that's you don't need to play, and give them the problem. Take the pin out of the grenade and throw it to them and see what they deal with it.
It was like a rocky fight though in the end, wasn't it? You gave yourself those big mountains to climb, but boy did you climb them.
Yeah, definitely. Even we're going down, we're disappointed at a free header for the second goal. Then the third goal, you're thinking, that little bit of luck that being eluding us, you think they get it with a good, strong, brave wall, falls straight back to the lad, takes a deflection, goes in, and you're thinking, yeah, that's the type of luck that when it goes against you, you're thinking, yeah, pack the bags and go home. But not us. It's one of those. We still felt we get a goal, we get something out of it, and then we had a spell that they will want to forget. I don't know how many minutes it was, but
3 goals in 14 minutes, and the obviously the equaliser and then the winner coming 2 minutes apart. 90 seconds actually.
Yeah, well, we had a feeling that. Again, we played our hand. We put everybody attack-minded that we could get on there, because we thought we could give them problems, and we did. There was combinations galore going out of there, and I'm pleased some important people got some important goals today for us, and I think that shows the strength in depth we've got, and also the strength of the squad that we've got. That we've got game changers that can come on and change games.
Crucial though is that, you've not come here and just made a meal of a bunch of puddings. This is a good team, Luton, and they gave you a really hard game. They gave as good as they had, and you've won. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of credit goes to Luton as a management staff. The first thing that John Still comes over and goes, well done, you deserved it today. And I think then I think it shows the depth of knowledge that the Luton supporters have got, when after we've gone over and celebrated with our travelling fans and our players are walking off, the Luton supporters by the tunnel were applauding our players off, and I think that shows that I think they've seen a fantastic game of football, a great advert for League Two, and I think some of the comments we got past today, you earned it and you deserved it, and I think that shows credit to these as a football club, that they understand when they've been in the game of football. You had to obviously go over to your fans, but I've seen teams go over to fans before, but they were all on the advertising hoardings. There were hugs and things going on over there. 169 made the trip here. It's Tuesday night, they'll have a long trip home. They'll all be at work tomorrow, just about, I would have thought. How key are they on days like this, and how much do you want to do it for them?
Massively, and I think that's why it's not the occasional glance over. We want to get involved. We want to get up close and personal with our supporters, because they're massive to us. And again, first and foremost, we appreciate the effort that goes in. And we demanding of ourselves that we go out, no matter what the result, we put in a performance that they're proud of, that they can go home tomorrow and say, hey, we had to go, whatever the result is, our players are wearing our shirts we pay our money for, we had to go.
BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.